Oh, damn. Right. Oh, shit. Damn it, right here. All right. Believe it. Hitting you with peace bullets. All right. Believe it. I said believe it. Believe it. Yeah. All right. Shout out to Casey. Come see me in Vegas. We could do that overnight over here. But believe it. What's up, y'all? Pisces is the key word for Pisces is I believe. And so you must believe it. Trust me, y'all. This is going to be one of my favorite peace transit talks. There's a lot to talk about. I have future life as a background. Future life is transitioning to high vibe very soon. Stay tuned. Shout out to Jax. Shout out to Apollodite. Shout out to Tamara. Shout out to Christy Forsyth. Shout out to David Hauser. We got some heavy hitters as part of the community. All right. And yeah, stay tuned. We killing the game. 2019, 2020, we paving our own lane. But enough about that. I hope you know you're leaving a timeline for good. See, the metaphysics behind transitioning timelines, I might have framed it as something that happens in an instant. And yes, I know I need to get a haircut. It's all good. It's going to happen. It's going to happen this week. Hit that like button if you haven't yet already. But this whole timeline shift doesn't take a day. Timeline shifts take a whole mutable sign season. In this case, if you haven't yet already, a whole Pisces season. Ever since the new moon in Virgo ritual, the full moon in Virgo ritual that we've done, I've definitely noted great differences in the timeline shift. Nothing too enormous because this happens over time. CC, I feel the energy. All right. We're going to do a ritual to continue this timeline shift. And shout out to Elliot that we just did the peace talk. He shot a concept my way that ended up mirroring exactly what I was going to have you guys do. I have homework for you tonight and I have a reality hack. And so the Uranus and Taurus reality hack I didn't know there was a name for it. After he told me the name, I was like, this is what we're going to do. And it is called reality transurfing. All right. Comment a fire sign emoji. Comment a fire emoji if you've heard about reality transurfing. We're going to reality transurf at the end of this broadcast before we step into the super chat. And I'm going to read an article about reality transurfing, which if you really tap into, it seems delusional, but it is highly metaphysical. It is the way Pisces think. It is Mercury and Pisces in a nutshell. Reality transurfing, taking into account different realities where you could literally shift your focus, and it is amazing for manifestation. So keep that in mind. You have celestial beings and spirit guides watching you while Jupiter is squaring this. And we're going to have the strangest Mercury retrograde that you have ever experienced in your entire life. Let me tell you how real this is. March 6th, we're going to have the new moon in Pisces on Neptune. And Mercury is going to retrograde when we have that new moon. We have that new moon starting a new cycle with Neptune, entering into a magical world, and then Mercury retrograde so that you can like reevaluate, holy shit, like I'm seeing matrix codes, like, damn, is this really real? You're literally gonna be that little boy who just had like their teeth, they went to the dentist and they're like, is this real life? Like, and then when Mercury goes direct, it's gonna be dead conjunct Neptune. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Shout out to Fairy Magic. It's all good. Really keep this in mind. Magic is truly divine. And so I've called this divine magic spellcrafting. And the purpose of this is we're going to prepare and encourage you to stay in an intentful state at all times. It's not going to be easy, but for those of it's easy for fixed signs to do. And higher level mutable signs. It's the hardest for Gemini. Actually, yeah. So it's so ironic that I'm teaching you this because every single one of you are going to be better at it than I am. I suck at this because it literally entails focusing on an intent for longer than 5 seconds, y'all. And my record is literally like 37 seconds. I don't think I have ever focused on anything for more than a minute. Because once 37 seconds hit, you know what I'm saying? Bam, I'm focused on something else. And it's interesting because Abraham Hicks said something to that effect, where if you think about something for like 20, I'm paraphrasing here, so it's not the exact number, but it's like if you think about something for 28 seconds, it starts to move. And then if you focus on it for like 68 seconds, it starts to come into like fruition. So that's a paraphrase. That's not exactly what she said. We're going to take this concept and put it on steroids. And the whole purpose is you're going to be focusing on your other reality. And it's not really another reality. It's all interwoven. In fact, realistically, we're not really timeline shifting. We're just changing our behavior to manifest better. But it's cooler to say we're timeline shifting. And because it is true, we are timeline shifting. Because I said realistically we're not, but truly we are. So really keep this in mind. Like, this shit is going to be lit, folks. If you have ever wanted to see magic for the first time, Jupiter in Sagittarius is giving you that opportunity. It's just you don't really want to see magic the way you think you want to see magic. Disney has lied to you. You know what I'm saying? Your own imagination has lied to you and made you think that seeing magic is teacups flying, birds singing, birds chirping, magical vibrations everywhere. No, seeing magic is seeing evil warlocks, demonic spirits and entities. Because if you think about spirits that stay behind in this third dimension, they're never pure spirits. Pure spirits ascend, light beings ascend, angels ascend. The only spirits that are left down here are wandering spirits, spirits that lost their way, dark vibrational spirits that vibrate at a low. You just see, like, if you were to actually open your third eye right now, you would see like demons jacking off in the corner watching like space porn. You would see like angels fighting demons. It's not pretty. This is why some of you, your third eye's open as a child, and you're like, close it, oh my God, my God, like you weren't ready. You were traumatized. Okay, so that's the reason why there was a Galactic Federation like talk. There was a Galactic Federation meeting where we're like, okay, we need to divide the worlds. Like the worlds weren't always divided. They're overlapped, but there was a veil instituted. We had to literally hire Pisces and Gemini. Pisces to institute the veil and Gemini to institute duality. And this is why Pisces and Gemini have a sacred soul connection, 12th house, 3rd house, where Gemini gets to play with Pisces behind, and like literally Pisces and Gemini are dual. So like one part of them is behind the veil, one part of them is in front of the veil. And only Gemini and Pisces could really integrate like that. Virgo and Sagittarius do too, but as whole beings. So it actually gives them strong energy. But yes, it's not pretty, but you know, because we kind of have to look through the veil, because now we're at a place where we can kind of explore greater worlds. The reality we're heading into is such where you're going to find yourself simultaneously aware. For those of you who are wondering, are we going to bring our actual physical bodies into different dimensions? Is that what you mean? And yes, kind of, but it's nothing that you would really be aware of literally, because when it comes to these shifts happen so quickly within like milliseconds. To you, it's like a twitch. Literally, to you, you would think you're twitching, or some of you, if you went through a timeline right now, you would have a harsh migraine because you're literally warping out of space and time, and being conscious of it can trick your mind. So normally your spirit guides facilitate this when you're asleep, and then you'll be aware of it through a dream. Wake up, may not even realize you walked into a new timeline. Unless you're a Cancer, unless you're a Pisces or a Scorpio, you feel it. You just feel something different. Or you're a fire sign, you see something different. Okay, so something to keep in mind, because all these abstract concepts that we've seen as myth are going to be made excruciatingly real. And it's not like it wasn't real before. It's just that there's such high magical energy, you can't not see it. Revenge of the Synchronicity starts now. It really started like 3 weeks ago, but it starts now, God damn it. And trust me, the reason why there's an acceleration of synchronicities that you're seeing is because now it's time for you to enter the void. I was going to say the veil, but now it's time for you to enter your personal void. So ever since I did that ritual, I've literally, someone said it's best not to use drugs. So right, Fairy Magic. This is the perfect time to stay sober, because if you stay sober, you're going to imprint these supernatural energies with your mind. It's like weighing something on a scale. If you put stuff on the scale and press 0, it will act like nothing's on there. And that's like doing a bunch of drugs and then going through these timeline shifts. It's letting your subconscious assume that your natural state is a non-sober state. Starhawk, herb is dope. I don't consider herb a drug, to be honest, but be mindful about how much you smoke weed. If it's like every day, all day, you want to get to a point where you're at your base state. If this makes sense, if you're at your base state while you go through, and if you smoke like once a day, if you smoke like every now and then, that's not bad. In fact, that will enhance your experience. So smoking will enhance it, even drinking, but you don't want to be constantly under the influence, because if you're constantly under the influence, you're not giving your subconscious an idea of what your base state is like. And so when you're sober, you're going to be able to notice differently what's changed, versus if you're constantly high and then you're not going to really, you'll notice differences, but you won't know what is you just being high and what is you being sober. So I'm not telling anyone to moderate. How some of you can listen to me right now and decide, fuck that peace dealer, I'm going to smoke every day, all day. You can do that. That might help you. So there's no one way to do this. Keep that in mind. Just going to advise, you want to be in a state where you at least recognize your base. Okay. And just really keep that in mind, okay? This is a great time to sip on psilocybin tea. If you have some mushrooms and you can like extract a small amount of it and sip it, genius. Great time to go on microdose mushroom trips. This is going to be the best time you can do that, okay? The point here is you want to know what your base is. Some people are like, who's permanently high because they tap into these vibes. So really keep that in mind. Okay, essential oils work too. I'm not really the authority on what you can or can't use. I'm just going to kind of give you the climate. So really keep that in mind. Shout out to Miss Kiki who did that yesterday. That's dope. Calypso Heart, just make the intention to find it. That's how it works for me. I make the intention to find it. I let it go. And right when I least expect it, it comes up here. So keep that in mind. The counselor, please do that. Please do that. Post a list of legal psychedelics. It's amazing. Getting high on life is the best thing you can do. And sometimes the best thing to do is not even to just get high, just be sober. That could be like the greatest experience. So keep that in mind, y'all. There's a lot to uncover. Ever since the full moon in Virgo, I committed to shifting elements of my timeline. I used to, hold on. What's one thing I did? I'm using a water filter that I wasn't using. Like, I'm going to actually use it. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to use that. I used to use, I can't believe I just forgot the other ones, but the main shift that I did that I'm already noticing results for is I used to listen to Spotify. After that ritual, I immediately canceled my Spotify and now I listen to Tidal because I realized the alternate reality version of me that I'm shifting into doesn't listen to Spotify. He listens to Tidal. See how it's Virgo? Like small things, very small things that on the surface don't really seem that big because, you know what I mean? Smoke weed every day. It doesn't really seem that big because it's like, okay, like they both play music, but it's just small, minute details. I drink out of water filter, you know what I'm saying? I support Jay-Z. Listening to Tidal down. The first song I played off Tidal was Party Live. Yeah. Anyway, and I sport fly shit. I should win the SB. Anyway, the alternate version of me doesn't participate on Facebook. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Brown Brujita, I actually re-uploaded my music, so I'm not under as rhyme scheme as 2 words. You can find me there by 1 word because I'm in the process of re-uploading my albums, but Amuse is giving me such a hard time. But I was able to upload 2 of my singles. So, yo, if you guys can show me some love on the streams, if you go out to any streaming platform, Rhyme Scheme, listen to Weirdo, listen to Afterlife with Gemini Brown and Blake Mitchell or King Mitchell. That'll be so dope. I definitely want to get some streaming presence up. But other than that, I'll worry about promotion later. Also, for those of you who are local artists, keep that in mind because when I get my radio station popping and the podcast, I'm going to need like uncopyrighted original music that I could like play. And I'd rather play like indie people than people who already kind of like have their fan bases just so we can, I'll do a little bit of both though. But yeah, for those of you who got me, appreciate you all, Oddstar. So yeah, y'all, this is going to be so fun because you're definitely going to be in a position to very, 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 very powerfully Rhyme Scheme X69, right? I might have to get the 69. Let me spell it because you spelled it wrong. But yeah, other than that, and yeah, more new music coming through. I'm gonna put out 3 EPs. 2 EPs is the Peace Dealer, 1 EP is Rhyme Scheme. So stay tuned. The second house EP and the 8th house EP coming this Taurus season and Scorpio season. But enough plugs. This is really important because the way you perceive reality is going to change forever. And keeping that in mind, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover, please. Okay, there's some people, and yeah. I'm gonna do hip hop meetups. Anytime I do meetups, Christian Davis, check me out on SoundCloud, Rhyme Scheme. Anytime I do meetups, like I want to feature artists. Definitely have hip hop. Definitely even have some rock. Definitely have some like different genres. But yeah, definitely want to get music involved in this. Kind of create our own like genre and brand here, because we on a come up. We all glowing up together, which is the best part. Other than that, though, don't judge a book by its cover. There's some people who won't talk to me. There's some people who look at me and they're like, I can't approach the peace dealer. I'm a Trump supporter. He's black. He probably voted for Hillary in the elections. He probably won't like me because I'm a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, first of all, I didn't vote for nobody. I'm not into politics. I can listen to a Hillary supporter. I can listen to a Trump supporter because I know you're not your political identity as much as some people think they are. And it's like, you really need to not judge a book by its cover. Even if you end up getting what you thought you would see, it's something to keep in mind. Definitely something to stay vigilant about. Shout out to Sun Soul Astrology. I'm about to vote for Pikachu too. Holla at your boy, Don Cheadle for president. I'm gonna have to play a banger real quick. But other than that, wow. Yeah, guys, the synchronicities you see are going to like come with a vengeance. And you're going to see signs that will make it feel like the actual reality space you're in is talking to you. That's because the actual reality space you're in is talking to you. And you're going to start to like see emotions, because we're in water right now. Pisces is literally like invisible water. NASA kind of basically said that space is water. Okay. We got a song request from Sun Soul Astrology. How many of y'all are some weirdos up in this bitch? Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Sing the song if you know the lyrics. It's called Weirdo. Yeah. It's on Tidal. It's on Spotify. Check it out. What's up? But they'll never know. So they always cry. I'm so delusional. Hey, I'm making a killing. I don't need a witness. Everybody like to talk a lot. I just mind my business. People say I'm weird and that kind of suck. Ask me, do I give a fuck? Look at me. Hey, counting $7. Hit that like button if you haven't yet already. You would guess me, then you have luck. I don't think I'm weird enough. You ain't really got no eyes. You ain't really got that life. You ain't really got no stripes. Flights. You ain't even rap that nice. I'm gonna buy that shit. You ain't even write that shit. Flights. You ain't even like that shit. Talk that shit in a minute. I'll be feeling peace, but I'm too chaotic. Got a lot. Space, my only allegiance make me patriotic. I'll be reading stars. Got a problem with me? Say yo ass to Mars. Hey, I'm making the killing. I don't need a witness. Everybody like to talk a lot. I just mind my business. People say I'm creepy and I kind of suck. Never will I give a fuck. Look at me, happy as can be. Counting several bucks. Look at us, we getting it down. We gon' live it up. You against me, then you out of luck. I don't think I'm weird enough. Out of my mind, I spit it autistic. Try to take mine, I'm going ballistic. People just lie, take the truth and twist it. And my cap way too big, I'm a misfit. Get it? Cap too big and I'm way too big. And my dick is too, but my patience thin. They want me to lose, so I have to win. And kill it too. Know some bangers that red that leave the blue. Touching it, I'm thinking you're getting cool. Shit, they got me with the cancer. Beer is what I'm getting to. I'm an asshole and a dick too. I do this. Flights. Flights. For sure. You know. I'm sorry you made me do this. I'm grade A, get hella pace, but hella flame, so I'll never change. Being brains with the Pulp Fiction in the basement, and you hella lame. Spitting game while I'm switching lanes, it's all business maintenance all night. She don't care about her ex, man. She hop a dick the night call. Hey, I'm making a witness. All right. Talk a lot. I just love my business. Flights. People say I'm weird and I kind of suck. Crazy, man. Ask me, do I give a fuck? Look at me, happy as could be. For sure. You know. If I put it down, she gon' give it down. You against me, then you out of luck. I don't think I'm weird enough. Everybody think I'm weird. I don't even really care. My mind's way up in the air, and I'm gonna leave it there. They always wanna know why, but they'll never know. So they always cry. I'm so delusional. Shout out to Flight Boss on some real ish. I messaged him last night to give me a call. I got you, Maru. Shout out to Maru. She joined me in a recent DMT ceremony. It was dope. Yeah, I messaged Dolo. He said he's gonna call soon, and I'm gonna convince him to meet weekly or bi-weekly so we can do Astro Talks together. Kind of go live together. It's about time Archangel Michael and Uriel got together and started wilding. So we'll see what's up. We'll definitely see what's up. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Whew. I don't know what else I can say because this is going to be hard to put into words. And I'm supposed to be like the words guy. So keep in mind that everything you experience is not meant for you to understand. There's literally a spirit being that is placing its right or left hand on my right shoulder, and it's channeling through me what to say. Like, I didn't think about saying this right now. It's just kind of coming out through me. And I don't have physical proof to prove this to you. I mean, if you were a critical analyst, you probably should say I'm crazy because I'm making shit up. But really keep that in mind. Giving form to these unseen entities is not important as much as it is just feeling. If you're making critical decisions, I would hold off. But once it's really coming to just imagining, you don't need rules to just imagine. And Mercury in Pisces wants you to stretch out this non-linear way of stretching through your imagination, because the most supreme thing you could ever do is believe and imagine. I said it's astrology. We make shit up all the time. It is what it is, though. And a whole lot of how you really perceive through this has to do with your imagination. You're going to hauntingly realize that you don't imagine. Your imagination thinks you. You don't imagine your reality. Sorry, you don't have imaginations. Your imagination imagines you. Like, you're receiving what a higher version of you is imagining. You're just witnessing it. All right. Keep that in mind, because it may not always feel like that when you literally step into imagination and visualize something. But it's like, are you thinking the thought, or is the thought thinking you? This is going to be one of those transits where you really heavily philosophically get into that. Shout out to MJ in the building. So this is definitely also going to push you into a rabbit hole where you're going to get jumped by spiritual entities forever believing in the illusion of separation in the first place, before they just kind of hug you and be like, oh, it's okay. I know we just completely jumped you, but it's all right, man. You're in. We jumped you in our gang. And it's like, what is going on right now? So anyway, just keep that in mind, because yes, Denise, it is on title, Weirdo by Rhyme Scheme. RHYMESKEEM, because why would I spell it the right way? Please, that is the right way. But yeah, all one word. Other than that, you know, this is definitely your entrance and invitation to literally lose yourself in your imagination. I don't have any Pisces energy. So I think a lot, but I don't really sit and imagine. Some people have a lot of Pisces, Sagittarius. They can close their eyes and they see a movie screen and they see vivid colors and they can like literally see things so perfectly and with vivid detail with their minds. That's a skill. That's literally a gift, because when they actually simulate it, it affects their reality more. When I close my eyes, I just see pitch black. Like I have to really try to imagine. And that's because I don't focus that much. Like I have to really sit down, meditate, you know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't come easy to me, I'm not trying to do it because I'm that lazy. But we're gonna change the alternate timeline. Me is not that lazy. So it's all good. We go get into this. And it is what it is. That's why I said if you have Gemini energy, this might be hard. The caveat is, yeah, we don't focus as much, but the magic manifests quickly. Like a Gemini who can focus is a problem. Like a Gemini can focus, it's a wrap if you got beef with that Gemini, because they will see it through fruition. But it's so easy to be distracted with mutable energy because you're constantly being aware of everything at once, and your subconscious purposefully blocks out things so you can focus on what needs to kind of occur. Well, a transit like this is going to let you be aware of what your subconscious has always been aware of. A transit like this with Mercury retrograding on Neptune is literally taking an NZT pill, or realistically releasing DMT receptors or DMT in your brain, and you start to access parts of your subconscious that you didn't even know you remembered. And this is just going to come through synchronicity. This is going to come through dreams. And it's so hard for me to say this because we're entering into a facet of this reality that nobody has ever really entered into before. Okay, you constantly have like certain dark forces that try and time strategically when they say or do things to inadvertently trigger you and to inadvertently, you know what I'm saying, kind of knock you off balance, trying to get you insecure. I was reading a comment, or insincere. And I mean, their power is just kind of dwindling because it's weak, it's inauthentic, it's not true. And so there's only so much that they can do. Other than that, though, what's very important and amazing concerning that, oh, okay, shout out to Lucky D, whose ears was ringing. Sorry, this transit squares my sun. So it's like, part of me is in this dimension, but within seconds, I'm like timeline shifting, gaining information, and coming back. It's faster even for me to be aware of. And that's the whole theme, because for a short amount of time, collectively, time is going to slow down. And you're going to start to be aware of everything you weren't usually aware of. This transit is going to show you things that have, thank you, Denise. This transit is going to show you things that have always kind of been in your reality that you weren't aware of. And now you have to integrate because it's like you can't unsee it. All right. Shout out to the counselor. Please press that like button. Once again, if you haven't already, I can't really, oh, what's that saying? Oh, well, I forgot. What I wanted to say was I just can't overemphasize, or I can't really stop saying this point, that it's hard for me to put this into words because it's a totally new frontier. You have people in older generations. It's literally like when you do a sound, I bet some of you can't even hear that. I used to troll people in class when I was in high school. I would make this high pitched sound with my teeth that only dogs or young people could hear. And like the students would hear it, but the teacher couldn't hear it. So it's like the teacher couldn't stop me from doing it. And it's like there's only certain frequencies that the younger generation can see that the older generation won't be able to see. Okay. Anyone born before the 60s, anyone who was born like even before the 70s, it's not meant for them to, like, they only reach a certain level. The exception is if you have your sun or moon in Sagittarius, in Capricorn, in Aquarius, or in Pisces. Because and save a few Libras and Scorpios. Like, if people born on the top side of this energy, especially Aquariuses, like Aquariuses or Libras could be from older generations, but because they're already like high vibe, they're the ones who were called weirdos when they were young, because they were holding space for people to ascend before ascension was even a thing, or before it was cool to do. So, if you're Aquarius, if you're Libra, or the top signs, like, you don't really count, because you're still part of this too. You're actually like facilitators for even the younger generation too. And that's not to say if you're from the older generation, you can't entrance this energy. Not true at all. That's why some of you had kids to re-download this through you. So keep that in mind. But especially if you have kids in the 90s. But really, really, really keep this in mind, or the 80s. This is definitely going to change the whole game when it concerns how you perceive reality. It's literally like the universe is going to give you a new video game, and it's going to upgrade. It's going to see you're still playing the PlayStation Dimension 4 and just kick it away and just kick it in the trash and just rip it to pieces. You'll be like, what the hell? I was just playing social media. I was just playing Social Media 5. Gosh, what the hell? And then after just like completely trashing your console, it's going to be like, I got a new console. The PlayStation Dimension Infinity. The graphics run so much better. Like, I don't know if you notice, like, life is a little bit more HD. Subtle. Everything about Pisces and Virgo is so subtle. So subtle that it will look the same, because it's like boiling water in a pot. It raises slightly, unless you're like a Virgo, Pisces, or a water and fire sign, to where you can like kind of notice these shifts before people call you crazy. So keep that in mind. It's something that you're only going to realize how crazy the shift is because of divine experiences. And I'm not preaching to the choir. Okay. It's every single person watching this right now has literally like experienced very Twilight Zone-y things within the past 2 weeks, where they've seen, I've already seen, like, I see synchronicities so much, they're a part of my day. Like, if I don't see a synchronicity, then I think something's weird. Before, it was like I can see one synchronicity and it's like, whoa. Now I can see multiple synchronicities and it's like, oh, wow. Even with orgasming, before I would work my way up to that one big nut and it was just like, oh, I'm done. All right. Now, I didn't even know I was multi-orgasmic. I thought it was just women who were multi-orgasmic. Now I could just like come and nut and nut and nut again while I'm nutting and nutting while I'm nutting. Please excuse the nature of what I'm saying, but it's a very true analogy. Like, I had no idea you could even experience. I thought only women could experience that. And it's like, damn, like, sex is just totally different right now. Like, wow. Don't worry, your boy, the peace dealer, don't get none like that. It's not that big a deal. I don't want y'all to be thinking that I'm having sex like all the time, because the alternate timeline me gets it in though. The alternate timeline me. Yeah. Give me some water, spit. Okay, never mind. See, I'm getting too excited. I'm sorry, because you guys don't understand the whole. Some of you understand. Some of you do. The whole purpose of this Pisces season is to prepare you because peace dealers in the desert. So true. It's to prepare you for this Aries season. A lot of people are not ready for Aries season. A lot of people don't know Aries season is going to be filled with explosions, bombs, drama, 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 drama. And that's because it'll be the first Aries season that we have Jupiter in Sagittarius, Neptune's still going to be in Pisces, Pluto's getting ready to go retrograde, and like it's going to start with a bang, son. And it's going to set the tone. That's why my favorite person of 2019 so far, bar none, is Big Soldier. Big Soldier set the tone. Okay? I have the biggest comeback in 2019. Y'all trying to count me out, forget about that shit. Like legendary. Like I didn't realize until after I seen it like that. Like dude just fixed sign Leo set the tone. Like if that's not your energy, if that's not your energy for 2019, you're doing something wrong. If you think you have to be too mellow, like you need to turn up. You need to treat every single day like Soulja Boy on that IG live. And he's still on the roll. All right? Y'all gonna say he fell off. He's still on the roll. He's not gonna stop. He's born 1990, just like me. So we the same soul group too. Watch. It's a wrap. It's over. Okay. So keep that in mind because, you know, everything that I'm kind of saying is preparing you for a whole new advent. I'm trying to think of like the last time we felt something like this. When the internet became a thing, that was a solid shift. Like there was before internet and then there was after internet. And I don't mean like the slow dial-up internet that wasn't really that popular to use because there wasn't that much web pages. I mean like when the World Wide Web became a thing, like that fundamentally shifted culture. Okay. And then there was when MySpace became a thing. There was that whole social media age. Like there's pre-social media age, there's after social media age. Someone said really texting, right? So like texting also like there was before phones versus after phones. Like before smartphones, we used to not have smartphones. So like before smartphones existed and we had flip phones and flip phones was like the shit. Like there are kids born now who will never know what a flip phone is. Like remember when you had a flip phone and like you were that dude or you had like a BlackBerry and you could just flip it open and you're the cool guy because it's like, oh, he has a razor or he can type on a keyboard. I have this old busted ass flip phone and I can play games on it and charge the account and then get my mom angry because I freaking maxed out the phone bill. I have African parents. I didn't do that. I wasn't trying to get spanked, but you know what I'm saying? Even after they stopped doing that, I still didn't. But regardless, like it's a shift like this. It's going to be monumental, like something significant to where it's like our culture is totally different because of it. And what is this, guys? Augmented reality and magic. Imagine if something like Pokemon Go came out that didn't last for like less than a year before it stopped being as popular. And it's like a thing. It's integrated. Everyone uses it. And I don't even want to cop out and say technology because it's going to be magic. The next big thing, my friends, is the reality of magic. And it's not going to start off viral. A select few of you are going to be ushered in as beta testers. And the beta testing has already been done because I mentioned that few of you, Pisces and Aquarius, had to beta test. Well, this is the next section of beta testing, where instead of like a few zodiac signs, every zodiac sign gets to beta test. Okay. The 144,000 of each sign, let's say, we could say our boy beta testing, but that's just a concept. So really keep this in mind because it's important. Lucky D said magic is gone, dude. Magic died when we killed all the dragons. Well, that's why this is so pivotal, because Mercury on Neptune is going to bring that magic back. Please keep in mind with reality transurfing, you can access different worlds and different timelines and draw the energy in here. Magic is really just an experience. What makes something magical is how you perceive something that is distinct. And in that case, you can't quantify magic. Shout out to Anthony. Magic never dies, it gets suppressed. So magic comes from within. As long as your heart is beating, you will always be magic. So magic isn't really something you can quantify. It's not something that you can hold. Magic is just an experience. It's a way that you experience and perceive something that to you can be magical. Something that's magical to you is not going to be magical to someone else. Okay? When I get my Postmates order and I'm hungry and my mouth is salivating and I see my food arrive, it's a magical experience. I drink my cherry lemonade with cranberry and cherry flavoring in it, and it hits my taste buds and I mouthgasm, and it's the most magical experience. It's pure magic is purely subjective. That's why you cannot prove the existence of magic. Everything is inherently magical. The fact that I have this headband on and I'm speaking to you is magical. It just depends on how you perceive it. And so that's why if you try and take this abstract, imaginative transit and you try and make sense of everything, literally, I saw there's somebody that I'm close to and I've been unsure about. And right as I'm thinking of them, I see their name and then I go to another tab and I see their name and it starts to bring up this curiosity. Like, I need to make sense of this. My Gemini starts to fire off. I need to make sense of this. And it's like, no, you don't. You want to allow your curiosity to be stimulated more. You want to actually have fun with the fact that you don't have all the answers, because that's what's going to lead you. Some of you guys want all the answers when your spirit guides are purposefully giving you a little bit here and a little bit there because they want you to experience an adventure. And some of you are like, I need all the answers now. And when have you ever played a video game where you play level 1 and you find everything out in one level? I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself because I'm the worst with this. Like, I feel like I have to know now. I need to know the details. Like, I just want to force things because I have Capricorn moon and I have amazing control issues, but it is what it is. This is going to be. You're not funny, Mercury. See? And listen, this is going to be where you realize that what you think is a synchronicity is the universe. The actual universe is communicating to you. So here's something that I want to impart. It's an affirmation, okay? My vibration is the key to enter my magical reality. My vibration is the key to enter my magical reality. My vibration is the key to enter my magical reality. The difference between reality and your magical reality is the vibration that you feel in order to walk through the door into a magical one, to where you can be in the same place as someone, but your vibe, your $1 billion vibe, is what's going to open the door into seeing the same things other people are seeing, but so magically. You notice while everyone's on their phones, you notice the cat that walked by and knocked over that pot, which knocked over the ladder, which then led to this crescendo effect. And then and everyone sees this, but you saw the magic that occurred because the universe is so supreme and it is constantly communicating. And now this is really what I want to say. Shout out to Elliot Arano. Thank you for joining, brother. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out for joining as well. Once again, it's like gotta grind like Final Fantasy. Some of you are literally, oh, and this is going to be so awesome. For those of you who are like RPG, like heavy RPG nerds like myself, your life is going to turn into an RPG, divine RPG, where you're literally going to be able to recruit other friends. You're going to grind for points. You're going to have random encounters with vibrations. Random encounters that you have are battling random projected vibrations where you're focusing and then bam, you have a random encounter with depression and you have to fight these depressive thoughts. No, I use the move positive thinking. Dun, 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 dun. Depression lost 5 points. Depression uses old memories. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I use affirmation techniques. Dun, 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 dun. I've gained 50 experience points. This shit is real, y'all. I'm not joking. Please don't even laugh. Like, I'm not joking. This shit is 100% real. Like RPG, RPG, RPG. Okay. It's definitely going to be an amazing sense of power and of experience. Pluto Star, The Gamer, is one of my favorite mangas. That one is inspired. So yeah, in fact, I need to catch up to that manga. If any of you could read The Gamer, great example of what I'm speaking of. It's basically being able to just kind of like step into see your own status bar. Heidi, I would love to make an app. RPG stands for role-playing game. So it's like if I can make an app where we can make an augmented reality on your phone and you can like RPG your life, I would have made that last week. Somebody beat me to that. I don't even care if I don't make it. Like I would download that instantly. So keep that in mind. This is just going to be really amazing because the whole purpose of this is to communicate with what has been communicating to you this whole time. Did you know that the universe, the universal space you inhabit is alive? Do you know that life is alive? Like you live in this energetic vibrational space that exists like you exist on a much higher conscious level. It's looking at you. What you're looking at is looking at you. That's why they say what you seek is seeking you. You're peering in, like right now, your eye is just seeing what's in front of you, but your vision through your third eye and mind is looking at energy that's looking back at you. It doesn't have physical form like you, and it doesn't exist just in this time and space because it's simultaneous, but how alive. Those of you who are going to be victorious are going to understand how alive this reality is. Living and breathing, all the energies, to the point where you might develop some pathological sense of animism, where you start to realize that your clothes in your closets are talking shit about you, and your bed is talking to you, and your inanimate objects vibrate at a frequency that communicate. They're not alive like plants are alive, but they vibrate, and their energy emits frequencies. Okay, and I'm not saying this as a fact. I'm saying this is what you're going to start to experience. Now, whether it's real or not is everything that you'll come into during Gemini season. Some of you people, Gemini and Virgo season, will be like, wow, it was crazy 3 months ago. But that's okay. Like it's okay that you're encouraged to. This is just exploring your imagination. And through the exploring of your imagination, you really uncover subconscious secrets that you wouldn't have. Okay. So I really want to keep that in mind, like random encounters, clearing your energetic space. Some of you are going to open a facet of your third eye and start to see energetic blockages around you. And it's going to be like, whoa, oh my gosh, I need to clear this space. And this is what's going to make Jupiter and Sagittarius make this an adventure. Because after you clear your space, it's like, whoa, I'm going to go out into the world and clear the spaces. And then you're going to see like maybe 1 in 8 people doing the same thing you're doing. Oh, you're doing it too. Come join my party. RPG. So like, oh, it's lit. It'll literally bring new meaning to going to the club. Like you're going to see people go back to the club, but for different reasons. You're going to see the $1 billion vibe tribe bring a group of like 5 people, and we'll go to the club to be undercover, drink some drinks, but we're going to the club to Reiki heal everyone that's there. Like our mission is to go hit up freaking Our mission is to go hit up Omnia. We're going to go to Club Omnia here in Vegas, and we're going to go through every floor, and we're going to Reiki heal everybody, and we're going to Reiki heal the buildings, like stuff like that. Really, really now integrating stuff you used to do, but with greater purpose. Oh my God, that was a lot. I used to do this all the time too. Like anytime I would go to a club, instead of just wall sitting, I'll just be like, well, let me just clear the energy and then leave. But it's really interesting because it's not just going to be like an intent. It's going to feel integrated. It's going to feel augmented in your reality. And you're going see what's lending to you. Because there's nothing new under the sun, guys. But what's lending to you having a new experience is Chiron, 0 degrees Aries. That's fresh. That's new. Okay. And also Uranus and Taurus. That's fresh. That's new cycle. Okay. And also Mercury and a new moon on Neptune. That's fresh. That's new. All this energy on Neptune is a new cycle of increased divinity. I mean, the last time Neptune was in Pisces, no one was alive. No one here was alive. So no one can say what it was like unless you have past life memories, but the energy wasn't the same like it was now. So I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Yes. Oh my God, dude. Like mutable signs have been waiting. Mutable Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, we've just been feeling for years this sense of magic that is all around us, but we couldn't see it or sense it, but we could sense it. And that's because it was in adjacent realms getting ready to get integrated. So, it's amazing. Oh my God, it's like finally real. It's like finally real. So the retrograde that we're going to have is going to be from the 6th to the 28th. All right. Shout out to your Gemini daughter. Revenge of the Twins. We back. It's amazing. All right. The transit is going to be from February 10th to April 6th. And I'm so glad that you brought up your daughter. If any of you have children, listen to the kids. Listen to the kids, because the kids are going to tap into this magic the strongest. Anybody born after 95 has first priority to knowing what to do with this magical energy. So if you hear them say things, listen with a grain of salt, but listen to what they're saying, because they're going to be pure channels to this energy. They're going to be able to make sense of these energies that us kind of growing more in with trauma and flaws, we won't really be able to filter well. So definitely keep that in mind. This is really, 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 really going to help a lot, especially Virgo children, especially Gemini children, especially Pisces children, especially Sag children, because they're already like exploring different realms. They're already channeling like constantly. I feel you, Anthony Johnson. But keep that in mind. It's very amazing. Do spiritual work with them. Let them be involved, okay? And let the inner child within you flourish as well. Nancy asked, what ages? I would say the cutoff date is really 15. But honestly, anyone from 15 to 20 is woke too. So keep that in mind as well. Especially those kids born in 99, 2000, 98. It's definitely going to be amazing. So many of you might be wanting to know what the next step is. Talk to your children. Have an honest talk to your children. If some of you may be in a position where you don't want to let your child know the exact situation you're going through, then just tell them that it's happening to a friend. Say, hey, my friend's going through this. And your child will be like, are you sure it's not you, mom? You know what I mean? Or dad? So keep that in mind. But yeah, it's definitely dope. Aquarian children, brilliant. Aquarian children are super brilliant. It's amazing. Pisces children, super magical. So, I mean, this is going to be so funny and so fun. Mercury is preparing the mind to perceive higher vibrational realities. Because if you think about it, we're going to go through Aries season. You're going to see for the first time energy in a unique new way. you're not really going to see, you're going to be going with the flow through Pisces season. It's going to come out to light and Aries season. Okay. So Mercury is low key preparing your mind subconsciously. Remember, there are worlds that occur subconsciously that you're not aware of. Unless you're a Pisces, unless you're Aquarius, you're not aware of it. And it's a subconscious world. The reason why you're not aware of it is because your mind is already too focused on this conscious reality, taking in trillions of gigabytes of information. So if you're aware of what your subconscious is aware of, filtering its past energy, traumatic energies, you would either faint or you would just become totally neurotic and have to go to the mental hospital. So this is going to now really prepare the mind to perceive higher vibrational realities, magical worlds, and the spirit selves of people. I don't know if you've been noticing where you can talk to people and like for split seconds at a time, you capture an essence of them that's kind of like a little bit deeper. It's like, zing, zing. It's easy for me to say as a mutable sign, but I don't know. Some mutable sign moons are receptive to it. You're going to start to perceive the deeper essence of people, whereas up until now, we've been more focused on, let's say, the conscious 3D form of themselves. Okay, it's definitely going to have you start to realize facets of people that have always existed that they may not have known, but more realistically, that they've been hiding from you and that they probably didn't know you would see. Okay. This is kind of like having someone who their moon is on your sun. When your sun is on someone's moon, you're aware of their inner self. That's why it's a soulmate connection, right? And vice versa. So keep that in mind. This is really going to, once again, prepare your mind or the mind to perceive what it's not used to perceiving. And some of you have already been open and accepting. The reason why it's in Pisces is to kill the ego. All right. Mercury wants to know it all. In Pisces, its logic is frustrated. It's going to send Mercury this info, and then it's going to bring info from the past, and then it's going to talk about the future, and then it's going to talk about the birds flying in the air, and it's going to seem like none of it is correlated, and then it's going to bring it all together magically in the most non-linear ways. And the way to tap into this is to not try and understand what you're picking up. You are going to experience the most profound synchronicities following this broadcast, sponsored by the Angel Clan and higher celestial beings that will rock your world. And your challenge is to do your best not to understand it, just surrender to it. Imagine it's a roller coaster ride. And I'm going to make this promise now too. Because every time I see synchronicity, it's like, what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? When you're going to get the full meaning, you just need to allow it to come to you. Because you actually block yourself from understanding when you try and understand it. I literally had to learn this the hard way. Like I'll see a synchronicity and I'll pull like 50 cards and still not understand anything and just be more confused. It's because I want to know. Even though I knew the first time, but I don't want to listen to my intuition. You must trust your intuition deeply because you're going to feel things so strongly that it's going to trigger doubt that you actually know it. Some of you literally get in your own way because your intuition is right. And now you want your intuition to be wrong, which is why you're looking for proof, just so you can prove it wrong. Trust yourself, my friends. Synchronicities will pace your experience. So when you see a synchronicity, it doesn't, people ask like, shout out to Starhawk, who doesn't like pulling cards for himself. That's wise. And this should be a feeling. That would be so awesome. So when you see a synchronicity, don't worry about what, if you see like 555, some people are like, oh, I keep on seeing 1133. What does that mean? I keep on seeing 555. What does that mean? Don't go on the internet and don't listen to someone else's understanding of the number, because that is just their own subconscious understanding. Even if you find that it's the same for most people, the purpose of synchronicities is not to mean something. These are spirit beings that are trying to communicate to you who don't speak English. So when you see that and it catches your attention, what are you thinking at that moment? It's not that the number you're seeing means anything, is that it caught your attention. It's your subconscious catching your attention. Because what happens sometimes is you can train your subconscious to see these master numbers. You can see 555 so much and give it attention. You're teaching your subconscious, hey, whenever you see 555, let me know. I'll make it a magical thing. I'll be like, this means something. Oh my God. And so what's your subconscious going to do? It's going to like point it out. And that's not really as magic as much as it is like pretty mundane. It's like, hey, you're just showing yourself something your subconscious saw. But then there's true synchronicities. And I've tested this because I've tried to force synchronicities. I've tried to be like, oh, I'm going to see something. And then I just look stupid as hell. And then there's when I'm not even thinking I'm going to see one. And then the universe just trolls my ass. Just shows the synchronicity like, what's up, peace dealer? Were you looking for me? I'm in your face. You don't even know what this means, do you? And the thing is, you do know what it means because you have an initial feeling, but you don't want to trust that feeling. So what you're trying to do is bring spirit to your timeline when your spirit is trying to bring you through the timeline. And this is how multiple potentiality works. You can see a sign and feel something, and it's not going to be a reality now until you attune your vibration and walk through that doorway. So really keep that in mind. There's different. Some of you are wondering, how come I see controversial? Why do I see synchronicities that somewhat contradict? It's not a contradiction. Life is not black and white. There's multiple doorways. Some of you, let's take the notion of soulmates, for example. Some of you feel you're meant to be with one person. Some of you literally ask the universe, who is my one and only that I'm meant to be with? And then literally the universe dies laughing. Like, does she not know she's multidimensional? Does he not know he is multiple versions of himself? There is no such thing as one and only because you're not a one and only, literally. So some of you are like, wait, how come the universe is bringing me towards this person, but then the universe is showing me a sign about another person? And it's like, people are just vessel suits. You're being shown the opportunity to connect. Regardless of who, you can have a good experience or a bad experience. Don't focus on the destination. Focus on the journey. Really keep in mind that the door you walk through, there are going to be different doors you can walk through. And don't get into the trap of like, well, which is going to be the best door? Who's going to be the best one? That depends on you. Remember, your vibration is the key to your magical reality. And the ritual we're going to do right now is to attune our vibrations to summon the door you want to walk through. And after we do this ritual and we attune our vibration together with everybody watching, so it's going to be a super magical ritual now that the energies are mutable and very influential, you're going to see synchronicity supporting that vibration. And all you have to do is keep that vibe. Keep that vibe and keep walking through this portal and maintain it until Mercury walks out of Pisces, all right, in April, which is going to be a while, okay? If you can accept this mission, your entire life will change. And that's redundant because your life changes every day. But you get what I mean. Like your entire life is going to go through an amazing change, okay? Oh, wow. Jesus Christ! I got the belt of righteousness, the breastplate of truth. Christ! I got my Bible. I'm reading 1 Samuel now. There was a certain man, Ramath, so fame of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zu of Ephraim. Christ! Yeah. Oh. Sorry, I just got hit right now with Jesus juice. I just had to celebrate our Lord and Savior, Christ. That is not sacrilegion. This is honor and respect. So keep this in mind, because like, it's a whole new ball game, my friends, and you have the opportunity to be ahead of the curve here. Everything that we're going to do right now is everything that the rest of the collective, whether they want to or not, is going to get hit in the face with. Thank God I had this forehead protector on. Hit in the face with March 6th. March 6th is going to come, and you're going to see a lot of people act delusionally. Okay. Now, some people are already stupid. No offense. You're going to see people make the least logical ruled decisions, and it's going to be weird. I mean, I love driving, and I don't even feel guilty anymore. Like, sometimes I'll feel guilty because I'm one of those assholes that drives. You know those assholes? They're driving and then they're on their phone. Sometimes I like to be slick with it. I'll be on my phone, and then when a car is passing me, I'm just like, and then the car passes. All right, let me go back on Facebook. Even though I should be driving. And I used to feel guilty. And then I look to my left, and the person on my left is on their phone. They see me looking, they look up real quick, and then I pass, and the person isn't on their phone, but the person next to them's on their phone, and then the other person's on their phone, but the person to my left's on their phone. And it's like, is this what we've become? Is this what we've really become? Like, Jesus Christ. I love it though. First world problems. It's definitely a sight to behold, but like I said before, 440 watching now, you want to allow synchronicities to pace your experience. The synchronicities are your higher self. All right, I be forgetting it's illegal. It's crazy. I know it's illegal. It's just I'm slick with mine though. It got bad though when it's like I was looking down for almost a full minute, and then I looked up like, Jesus Christ, how did I not get in a car accident right now? I am a shitty human being. How am I driving? So kids, do not text and drive. Okay, it is just as bad as drinking and driving. Don't be like the peace dealer. Although the alternate reality version of the peace dealer does not text and drive. This alternate reality version does not text and drive at all. He is a responsible driver. He scoffs at texting drivers. Like, how dare you? How dare you? I literally wanted to feel guilty. I'm like, I'm such a bad driver. And then I look at the next, and the person's on their phone too. And the person on my right's on the phone. And it's like, wow, never mind. Okay. Okay, never mind. It is what it is. And of course, you know, we're millennials. I don't see older people doing it. Maybe like 2 or 3, but yeah, it's amazing, I think. So keep that in mind. It's something that is going to help pace a lot of the changes. Those of you who are supplementing these changes by changing your habits, because Pisces and Virgo are habitual energies. The way that cardinal signs work, Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn are cardinal. They're powers. They're the powers of the world. They're action. They start our season. Okay. Taurus, I got you, Echoes. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius are energy. They're strength. They're what provides you the intensity to add to your power and the defense of strength. But they represent energy, okay? It's a state of having. Cardinal signs are a state of doing, and mutable signs are a state of being, okay? Thank you, Michael Tate. I wasn't going to say anything about that, but it did snow after we did that ritual. I never said that. We had 777 people in the ritual, and it immediately started snowing. I started noticing that a little bit before, where I'll do rituals and it starts raining outside, which is a great sign. So I know that's not just us. I think we're like one of many other groups that are contributing to it, but you know, $1 Billion Vibe Tribe in the building. So keep that in mind. It's like mutable signs are a state of being, and the state of being is perceptual, where Gemini is the attitude and Sagittarius are the beliefs, but Virgo and Pisces are habitual. How are you changing your habits? You want to change at least 3 habits, whether you're changing something and taking it out, or you're doing something, or you're perfecting it better. Okay. How are, in order to make the most of this spell crafting, tie it, and yes, billionaires study astrology, tie it into your habits and the habitual changes. Virgo are real habits, your behavior. Pisces is spirituality, your spiritual habits. Spirituality isn't lighting sage and chanting. Spirituality is taking your behavior and applying it to every single facet of your life. Hence, an extension of your religion, what you believe. 9th house is just what you believe. 12th house is applying your beliefs to every single facet of your life. Do you walk your talk? Congratulations, you're spiritual. It's that simple. You don't even have to believe in astrology. An atheist can be spiritual. An atheist can be spiritual. Okay. And what makes that atheist spiritual is that they live based off what they believe. That's their spirituality. That's why I say, like, it's not science versus spirituality. It's not the spiritual definition versus the scientific definition. That scientific derivation of what they're analyzing is spiritual. It's the true essence of spirituality. So keep that in mind. It's this transit that's going to help you fully understand. Does your talk walk you? Great question, Calypso. And once again, shout out to Mark, permanently in the synchronistic twilight zone, because some of you are going to get stuck there. I forgot to tell you that. All you 12 housers, all you 12 house suns and moons, spirit is going to kidnap you, push you into a magical world, and replace your vessel with some other spirit to work in autopilot. And no one's going to know. Literally, you're going to be trapped in a synchronistic void, and you're going to have to live a magical reality, because 12 housers, you're needed. The spirit is recalling you guys back. 12 housers come from magical worlds. Pisces too. Like, there are magical worlds that exist out here, y'all. This is true because when you guys go to sleep, you astral project back into them through lucid dreaming. You just think it's a dream. It's actually the world you come from, especially if you have like a south node or north node in Pisces. So if you're a Pisces, if you're a moon in Pisces, if you're a 12 houser, you're going to be kidnapped. Like this, you're not going to come back from this Mercury in Pisces transit until like 2 years from now. Once we clear this Capricorn energy, and then you'll just come back and your body like, oh my God, I'm back. Okay, so keep that in mind. What you're going to be autopiloting are all the habits that your subconscious are used to. So you'll just be moving on autopilot. You won't really have life. People will be like, are you okay? Like, people won't be like, are you okay? Because your subconscious will know how to like deal with that, but you're just not going to be full vibe because the full portion of you is gone. And some of you already like that. Some of you haven't even realized that you're not even really here. Like you're just seeing the world through the veil, but you're wanting to emerge and express yourself, and it's not coming out. That's because you're not here. Like, you need to go back to wherever you came from. And wait to come back with the rest of the 12 housers. Okay. Starhawk asked, what's a 12 houser mean? Do you have any planet in the 12th house? Congrats, you're a 12 houser. If you have at least more than one, I like to think I'm a 12 houser. I just have Venus there. But because Venus is my chart ruler, that makes me a 12 houser. Normally I wouldn't be, but because the focus is there, then now I am one. So keep that in mind, especially through progressions where your sun goes through a 12th house progression until it comes out into the 11th house. It's very, very, very powerful. If you have sun, moon, and other planets in the 12th house, you a 12th houser. Trust me. And it's going to feel like you're trapped in a dream and you can't wake up. So before you feel like, whoa, what am I going to do? Enjoy. It's literally like you have a permission slip to escape reality for a long time. And let me tell you, you're not missing much at all. And this is important because what you bring back from this trip will lead the rest of humanity as you guys are going to usher in new spiritual principles relative to this dimensional framework. Okay. Your chart ruler is the ruler of your AC. So if you're a Libra or Taurus rising, Venus rules your chart. If you're a Leo rising, the sun rules your chart. Mercury rules your chart if Gemini or Virgo is there. Okay. So keep that in mind because I'm a Gemini sun. So Mercury rules my chart too, but more in like a reality way. Perspective wise, Venus does because the AC and the sun is the difference between your perception, AC, versus reality, your sun. Someone said, how long are you guys going to be taken away? Time doesn't exist where you're going. So for some of you, it could feel like 5 million years. For some of you, it could feel like 5 months. And you'll find that like barely a day passed in the real world. I'm talking about the real ish. Some of you you guys have been prepared to lead the way in supernatural paranormal experiences. Did you notice, guys, for the past couple years, this is all I've been talking about. I've been purposefully busting my ass not to talk about things in a real way. If you listen to the peace dealer has been subconsciously and subtly training your mind to think abstractly and to purposefully utilize your imagination. Because when I express some of the concepts that I express, it's impossible for you to perceive without using your imagination to kind of see how this is out the box. That's not for no reason. I'm preparing you for when this overlaps with your reality and it's like, holy shit, I thought ghosts look like Casper. Why do they look like real life humans? What? Whoa. And the way you perceive reality is a way that no one else in the world perceives reality because you're as unique as a snowflake. So each and every single person has a magical world that represents their inner reality. If you watched Naruto, this is how he communicates with Kurama. If you've watched Bleach, this is the inner world with which he can talk to his soul sword, which is a symbolic analogy for his soul and the facets of himself. Every single person has this inner world and inner reality. This is what makes some people in your life soulmates. Because if you were to go to this private inner world where you'll see their energy there. A soulmate is someone who has entrance there. Normally, that means they have their moon or sun in your 4th house or their sun on your moon, if you need a cheat code or you know what I'm saying. But this is important. Once a cheat sheet. This is important because this is your entrance to go into, yes, microdosing LSD does give you the Sharingan. This is your magical entrance to really look deeply into this magical world. And some of you are going to enter this for the first time. You constantly interact with this, but your whole consciousness is going to be aware of this. Okay. Keep this in mind. Every single person has a soulmate. It's just people look at soulmates romantically, so they don't realize that the people who they hang out with a lot, see, everyone wants a romantic twist on the soulmate thing. So, no one wants to hear the truth that soulmates are as mundane as people you see every day. A soulmate is just someone who your soul connects with. And for many of you, it's platonic friends. So you friend zone them because they're not like the person who you saw in your imagination and fantasy. Okay. Soulmates are not fantasy partners. Soulmates are just partners that your soul is familiar with. So keep that in mind. Every person you meet is a soulmate. I'm with Sheesh the Beast on this. It's just some people have stronger connections than other people. Okay. And that's what some of y'all mean by that. So it's something that you have to really, really embrace because this will really help you. Okay. The soulmate obsession, we're moving away from finally. And this, because this is going to be squaring Jupiter and Sagittarius, there's a breakthrough and seeing emotions. People aren't just going to feel feelings. They're going to see what they're feeling reflected back at them and seeing past the veil. Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for Pluto and Aquarius, that's going to connect your mind into the grid. This is going to create consistent telepathic communication. And let me be honest, some of you are afraid. Some of you are afraid to be hated by other people. Some of you are afraid to bear your toxic nature and have it be like disliked by other people. That's why people don't like Geminis. Gemini embraces their shadow. Gemini knows that they're sweet, but Gemini also knows that they're sour. And people tell Gemini, hey, I like you, but I don't like your dark twin. And Gemini is the only sign, one of the only signs, Pisces kind of does it too, that embraces their dark twin. It's like, no, motherfucker, like you're getting me and that person. I embrace my darkness. Yeah, I know people don't like this about me, but I like that about me. And so people don't like some Geminis for that. And Gemini, don't let that stop you. Scorpio does it too, by the way. Scorpio is a more intense version of this, where they don't do the difference between Gemini and Scorpio. And I saw this meme that said Gemini is Scorpio in a clown suit. Half of me found that funny. The other half of me was not pleased. Okay. So the only difference between Gemini and Scorpio is that Gemini switches between the light and dark, whereas Scorpio integrates and becomes their dark side and fully rides for it. That is the ride or die sign if you have their loyalty. Okay. So keep that in mind. You're definitely in a position where you're going to connect telepathically consistently, and it's not just something you hear. Mind you, when you tap into this telepathic realm, it's not like you're just thinking thoughts. It's a constant mental state that streams through Aquarius and breezes through the Gemini vibe. So people who have Gemini moon, people who have Gemini or Aquarius energy, or Libra energy, they're constantly tapped in to this telepathic realm. And that's why they're most likely going to be labeled schizophrenic. It's not that they're schizophrenic. And let me not say that people who diagnose schizophrenia don't know what they're talking about. I'm not saying that if someone says you're schizophrenic, you're not. It's just the understanding of this is not accurate. And no, I don't have a PhD. No, I don't have a master's degree, but I do know the way people understand schizophrenia is not truly what it is. And you're going to see peer-reviewed journals that go into better understanding of this. Because when you're tapping into a mental realm, that mental realm is not always going to be fluid. Sometimes you can just hear thoughts. This is evident to when you are about to astral project out your body and you just start to hear random shit. You're tapping into another realm, another frequency. So this is why some of you need to take medicine. If someone prescribes you a pill to lower that down, it can help you. Maybe it can help you maneuver that mental plane better. But this is now integrating pharmacy, right? Witchcraft with magic, to where just because you hear where I'm going with this is you do not have a mental illness if you're quote unquote schizophrenic. That's a common misconception. It is not a mental illness. It is the development of your mental faculties. Even multiple personalities is not a mental illness. Multiple personality disorder is an issue with integrating your multidimensional self, but we stigmatize these as mental illnesses when it's just a quirk. Even being bipolar, people who are usually bipolar are not bipolar. They just have mutable energies. So their energies are constantly shifting. That doesn't mean the medicine doesn't work. I think the advent of modern science is amazing, that you can make a pill that can help you manage this, but it doesn't mean you have a disorder. That's really what I'm trying to say. It just means you're learning to integrate, because people who start off schizophrenic don't stay that way. If there are programs in place to meditate, to learn to maneuver through the mental realm. Some people have stronger energies to which they can discern what they're hearing and shut off some feelings. Some people can't. Some people need medicine to help them shut off the voices. The only lie is to make you feel like you have to be dependent on the medicine. The whole purpose of medicine is just a temporary stop before the real solution comes in. A problem brought by this trend of medicine that is more preventative or more, what's the word? It's more reactive than preventative in a certain sense, okay? But keep that in mind, because with Mercury in Pisces, so Brooke H said, will telepathic communication always feel invasive? That's the $1 million question. And that gets me back to what I was saying. Some of you are afraid because remember, guys, we're in spiritual warfare. This is not kumbaya. This is not, we're happy. Shout out to Pharrell, by the way. That's the real one. This is not like kumbaya, dance around the fire energy. This is a spiritual war. Cancers are getting attacked out here. We lost Robin Williams. You know what I'm saying? We lost Anthony Bourdain. These are not weak people. These are people who they didn't know who they can turn to. We lost Lil Peep, water signs. They didn't know who they can turn to because they tell you their experiences. You're going to say they're crazy when they were super psychic and misunderstood. They didn't need to take pharmaceutical pills. Not saying it wouldn't have helped. They just needed to be understood without judgment. And they didn't get that. Seriously. I hate to say, but it's that simple. We are in spiritual war. The invasive quality of these telepathic thoughts, are you being projected vibrations by real people, by spiritual essences through real people, whether they're projecting negativity, and you could hear unconscious, subconscious, or conscious energies. And that's why I'm like, why are you afraid? The $1 billion vibe tribe, see, Mac Miller is a Cancer moon. Cancer is the #1 suicide energy. Because when you have Pluto across that emotion, when you have Saturn, the full weight of responsibility and stress and intensity of your whole life ahead of you and all these obligations and responsibilities and people who don't give a damn about you, acting like they care, feeling how people really feel about you before they just act like they care, that can put a toll on you. Like, that's why I love that I'm an air sign in an earth moon where I could choose not to care. It's like, I think I'm better anyway. Like, this is when my flaws end up helping me. Can you imagine if I really cared like cancers do? It's tough. It's tough. It's very tough. There's a war against water signs. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Dark forces don't want you to embrace your power because you see in the dark. There's a war against fire signs. There is a systematic war, a social war psychologically to make you believe that your intuitive gifts are pathological delusions. And I know this is real because some of you will bust out and say some of the most genius things and then apologize to yourselves. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm making sense. When you make perfect sense. And that only comes across because you allowed society to condition you to believe that your gifts are your flaws. Where are your quirks? What is the weirdest part about you? That's where your superpower is. I'd love to break it to you. Where is the weirdest part of yourself? Because that's where your superpower is. Your vibration is the key to your magical reality. Okay? And so this Mercury in Pisces is going to force you to go full fish tard. When you're experiencing and perceiving synchronicities that you didn't even know possible. My subconscious right now is, and I'm blocking this. This is why I don't see it fully. I've trained myself to subconsciously block my own psychic gifts because they made me feel uncomfortable, because I didn't want to feel vulnerable. And Brooke asked such a great question. will they ever not be invasive? It's not that they won't be invasive anymore. It's that you're going to stand your ground and you'll swat them away. Remember, it's like Pokemon. You will never not meet a random encounter, but you'll be more prepared to where it's not invasive anymore. You have built your inner auric field. And this is why spirituality is about it walking your talk every day. Some people ask, how long does a ritual last? If I were to do some people want to do one spell. Some people want to do one ritual that will make something last forever. Like when you do love spells to make sure the relationship flows well with consent from your partner. You don't just do one love spell and hope that it will work for the rest of the relationship. Spirituality is habitual. You do it every day. Every time the sun comes up, it's a new day. So you do your spiritual practice every day. Just like I hope some of you brush your teeth every day. It's a part of your spiritual hygiene. When you do a spell, you're not doing it for results. You're doing it because it's a part of your spiritual lifestyle. This is what you do. You light sage in the morning because every day you usher in this positive energy for the spirits that are around you. The spells you do is not just to manipulate your reality. Like when I'm in a relationship, and I'm really taking it serious with a girlfriend or a wife, I'm going to do a love spell every new moon. I'm going to do a love spell every full moon. I'm going to do a love spell every day, not because I'm trying to manipulate my partner and make sure she stays in love with me and make sure the relationship works, because that's my devotion. In order to be spiritual, you have to be devotional. Whatever you put in is what you get out. So if you're constantly putting in through spell crafting love for the relationship, I want to work with this deity, I want to work with this energy, that's what's going to come out and manifest. And now you're co-creating. That's the difference between people who do spells to try and manipulate reality as crooked black magicians versus people who are authentic with their spirituality. Because the way you do one thing, as they say, is the way you do everything. Okay? So keep that in mind, because some of you warrior spirits, like myself, are going to go straight to the battlefield. And it's going to get super real, where you can walk into a room and you get ganged by all the negative energies, and you have to stay strong and transmute it by filtering it through your attitude, through your behavior, not letting the energy bring you down. You're so much stronger than you realize. Taking the sword, which is the word, and literally walk through and completely slash away at untruths. Shout out to Domino's, who just finished a 3-day ayahuasca ceremony. Round of applause. Congratulations. You made it. You made it. Okay. Yes, I'm totally going to be monogamous. My Venus and Taurus wouldn't even allow me to. Trust me, I have a Mars in Aries. I have a Gemini sun. So I am open to polyamory, but my moon in Cap and my Venus in Taurus won't let me do polyamory, because my Venus in Taurus is going to be like, I just want one person. And then my Gemini is going to be like, oh, whatever. Oh, I'll just flirt with other people. But shout out to Quantum Star, who just came back from Peru. Congratulations. But yeah, it's very, 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 very important that you allow yourself to make mistakes. Don't try and be perfect here. Make mistakes, take risks, and literally aim to fail so that you can learn from that mistake and adjust, repeat, rinse. Perfectionists, people who are waiting till everything is right before they take action, people who don't want to get hurt, people who don't want to get rejected, you're going to lose. You're going to be a loser. People who are willing to take risks, people who are not afraid of being wrong, people who are not afraid of receiving shade from other people, people who are willing to just leap forward and trust and surrender are going to be the winners of this transit. And yes, there are winners and losers of the transits because Saturn is in Capricorn, keeping score, my friends. If you didn't think Capricorn is keeping score, Saturn is keeping score. W L W L L L W W L. It's not about how many losses you take. It's about what you do with those losses. It's about how you handle those losses. Huge. In one moment, you can take an L and turn it into a W. That's the energy we have. And it's not about what, it's about how right now. Okay. So keep that in mind. Being STD free is super wonderful. Oh, yes. Once again, it's very important because this consistent telepathic communication, some of you might be worried about, how do I know I'm listening to something right? What if I'm listening to something wrong? That's worry, that's fear. Do you know you can't control that? So don't worry, embrace the process. Remember, you're protected. The reason why some of you get worried, thank you, Mer Magic. I didn't know I was in a relationship. I think Mer Magic is future tensing me. I mean, I thought I was single. Maybe I broke up with my imaginary bae. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm single. But I'm probably about to be in a relationship anyway because Jupiter's in my 7th. So I'm open for it. But keep that in mind. We're about to get into reality transurfing soon. And once again, I'm going to be reading off an article. Mer Magic, I think you picked up on something. I think maybe I am in a relationship yet. I just don't know. I'm about to just have somebody phase out into another dimension. Like, you've been cheating on me with these earthlings, Michael. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I've been watching you from the spiritual realm. You've been cheating on me. And I'll be like, damn, I try to forget my memories so I can make an excuse. Oh, God. That's how it's going to be for some of you, yo. You just got... Just keep that in mind. Call in the spirit team. I really want to I just really want you to have fun with this process. Don't worry so much. Now, here's the dark side of this, because I said everything more positively. Everyone that has beef with you right now, the balsamic phase is the time to get it through, right? It's just like being in school and it's like someone tries to call you into the bathroom or jail, or someone tries to call you to the bathroom or like a private place so that you can fight it up real quick. You're going to be ganged on this Pisces season, because Pisces season is the last bit of darkness and shadow before we step into the light, especially in Aries season with the Jupiter in Sag is going to cast a huge shadow. So there's going to be some scary paranormal experiences that spirit allows you to face. So whenever you're faced with your fear, don't be afraid. Summon your hammer. Okay, here's an energy exercise. Whenever you feel stress, I swear this works. Especially if you have any outer planets on your moon, you can channel this within you, okay? Or even if they're trining or sextiling or squaring or quincunxing or, not making any traditional aspect, you can just kind of draw in your own weird way or opposing. So keep that in mind. Whenever you feel stress, whenever you feel fear, whenever you're nervous and you're walking into an experience, I want you to feel energy drawing up from your root and coming up to your heart. Just draw on your inner strength. It is okay to be afraid. It is okay to feel fear. It is not okay to stay fearful. It is not okay to stay afraid. That is an insult to your own spirit. The reason you exist is because your victory has already been mapped out. Okay? When you see someone else's life and you see, oh, wow, that person must have lived a crappy life. You have not lived in their shoes. You have not lived every experience they have. That's some of the dumbest things people do. They make comments about other people's life as if they've lived it, as if they know about other people's lives, just because they can piece two things together and certain things on the surface are right. You don't know that person. Whether someone is evil to you, whether someone is pure to you, you don't know that person. You don't know what that person is like at 2 a.m. when they're in a room alone. You don't. I'm sorry. You might have an intuition, but you don't really know. So stop judging other people. Period. Period. Adepts don't do that. Even people who have the right to do that don't do that. So keep that in mind, my friends. Okay. You can look at someone else's life, but you're only looking from the outside. You do not know their soul contract. The fact that you beat a bunch of sperm and made it out the birth canal means that you have already assured your victory. You are already victorious. Your vibration is the key to your magical reality. You are maneuvering from the starting point to the end point, and life is the journey. So the most pointless thing to do is worry about how this is going to end. You already won. You are going to achieve victory. So strut your stuff and learn some cool things along the way and meet some cool people along the way and rendezvous in certain dimensions with others along the way. It is fear, which is a liar. Fear is a bald-faced liar that wants you to worry about, hey, you might need insurance because this can go wrong. Hey, this might go wrong. Hey, you might have to worry about this because you can't control it. Stop fearing. If you have the energy to express fear towards something you don't know, you have the same energy to express optimism. And don't let something flimsy, like just because what you were worried about came true, that does not justify fear. You can worry about something happening, and that shouldn't change your attitude to still be optimistic. Optimism carries luck because where you could have been vibrating at a millisecond to not really notice or have energy and act, you can have the optimism to take action you wouldn't have, and bam, something lucky. Yeah, you call it luck when it's not really luck. You just took initiative. So really keep this in mind. I'm freestyling. I freestyle all of this because it's channel city. And really because I'm a Gemini and I could just talk like forever. But I'm sub-ruled by Uranus, so I'm just connected to Aquarius. It's weird. So don't let victory defeat you. Shout out to Sean. Amazing, amazing quote. It's so important here. We are going to evoke your vibration, your Nen. It is time for you to reap the best of your Nen baptism. Your energy and vibration is the key. If you want to step into your magical reality, you must feel it. So this ritual we're going to do, I miss Mac Miller too, man. Why did all the good ones go? I don't understand. That was a real one, but it is what it is. We're going to imagine, in order to activate this Mercury and Pisces energy, all you have to do is just sit in your imagination. Sit in this magical world of yours, okay, of your own making. The trip here is that you're going to realize you've always been here. It's not just something you imagined. It's something that you're only recalling because it's a place you've been before. All right. Thank you, Star of the Underworld. So keep that in mind. Some of you are so programmed by feeling disappointed when other people are disappointed in you that you're sensitive. Sorry, some of you are so sensitive to disapproval from others that it subconsciously controls you like a puppeteer. I'm guilty of this. I have been, over the past 7 to 8 years, been purging this by acting a complete asshole within reason so that I subconsciously train myself to not consider it, because it's literally useless to me. Doesn't do anything for me at all, positively. It's not even constructive of criticism. It's literally just a waste. So keep that in mind, because this is what's going to allow you at a greater level to connect super powerfully. Okay? And it's very important because a large facet of how you personally shift through these timelines, and once again, Once again, okay, we are passing through the no flex zone. This timeline shift is not you just deciding, hey, I want to shift timelines. Blah, 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 blah. Like, this is something everyone's going through because we're going through Pisces season. We shift timelines 4 times a year, 4 seasons a year, every time we go through a mutable sign. So while we're shifting the timelines, this is where you can change your frequency and behavior to step into a different portal by changing your actions. So it's like if your behavior would have brought you down this path, by changing your behavior, you're going to be in different places at different times doing different things. You're literally shifting timelines. Not rocket science, it's astrology, guys. It's nothing too complex. That simple. How are you working the habits? We have 500 people. We can do this ritual now. Okay. So this ritual is incredibly simple, guys. All you have to do is imagine your greatest self and not the fantasy world, because if you call it a fantasy world, you're acknowledging that this timeline doesn't exist. This possibility does not exist. Allow doubt to creep up. Allow fear to creep up so that you can punch it in the face and slash it with your sword. You're going to confront, I told you the dark side of this transit is going to have you confront all your fears to your face so that you can bring your authentic self. No one said that you have to win this fight, but you have to bring your authentic self to this fight. What the true you would do. You see, people are so fixed on outcome when outcome is subjective. Did you even think about that? There's no such thing as winning or losing. That only exists subjectively within a system. But the solar system exists past Saturn. Did you know that? So it's like outside of a subjective decision, only someone else can say who won or lost subjectively. But that's just the concept. That's not real. Please hit that like button if you haven't before yet. Okay, so keep that in mind. Don't look at situations critically. Just take it as it goes. And I am a huge proponent for critical thinking. So when I tell you don't take things critically, I mean it. Trust me, I would rather you think critically, but this is not the time to think critically. It is okay to be fallacious in your thinking right now. As long as it allows you to think outside the box and to open up to different realities. You have to be able to see other people's sides, even if you know they're wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being really you. You can listen to somebody else who is completely wrong, but Mercury and Pisces will speak to you because you're stepping in their shoes and you'll gain something for their perspective that you could take with you that you wouldn't have been able to if you didn't listen to them instead of trying to correct them. Don't be that asshole who doesn't listen to people and you just listen to respond instead of listen to understand. Those of you who listen to understand will be right. There's some people who are so judgmental. If they know that you don't believe the same things they believe, they won't even listen to you. I used to be like that when I was Christian. If I knew you didn't believe in the Bible, to me, this was the only authority. Like if anything that I came to, I had to check with this book first. And if I knew you didn't believe this book, I would look down on you and be like, you don't know anything. You don't even believe in the Bible. And I wouldn't listen to people. I would listen just so I can hear what they're wrong about what they're saying. And that's not how you live. It wasn't until I started learning, it wasn't until I studied how to be a Christian apologist and what I learned was that you had to listen to other people's belief systems, not to try and prove them wrong, but to try and understand them so that you can witness to Christ better and let them and know how to tell people about Jesus instead of just being like, believe in Jesus or you're going to hell, which is like so cultish. It's not even funny. But other than that, this is going to reward you and remind you that we're all connected in this very psychic way while still being very different and distinct. All right, dude, let me be real. If you do this ritual, you are going to notice results instantly. This is one of those rituals where you will notice instant results, and this is going to set you on a domino synchronicity train. Do not do this ritual right now if you do not want your life to change considerably, because what we're going to expedite is the galactic collective cosmic change every single person in the world is going to experience simultaneously. Because this new moon in Pisces, higher celestial beings are going to sacrifice humans for a ritual. And when I say sacrifice, I don't mean blood sacrifice. All of us are going to be used in our vibrations for a bigger ritual that's happening in the higher realms. Our energy is going to be used. So you're going to see a lot of people feel a little bit woozy. You're going to see that everyone notices something around this time over the span of those 2 days. Okay. So if you're here now, your spirit brought you here. If you saw this video from the recommended screen, if you weren't going to watch this video, but you're here, it's for a reason. It means all our spirit guides are connected, and you have soul family here. And we're going to expedite, draw this energy, and do what's supposed to happen a week from now. And this is because you're going to bring an energy that wasn't supposed to happen yet. It can considerably change the direction and path of which you're going now. And like a dead fish, you must go with the flow. Your vibration is the key to your magical reality. Do you know you can live the life that you have always imagined you can live? The only person that is making you believe you can't is you, not other people. You cannot play victim here. You cannot blame other people. Other people do not have power over you like that. Other people can influence you. Other people can peer pressure you, but only you can listen to them. Only you can allow yourself to let them do that. Period. That's how powerful you are. Oh my God. Even me, the peace dealer, there's nothing, and I'm a powerful mofo. I will toot my own horn, but I am not powerful enough to override your will unless you let me. Now, I could do some devious hypnotherapeutic tactics to put you in a trance state and give a little suggestion here, a little suggestion there, take your attention here, a little bit of your moods, and make you feel happy, and then anchor that emotion with the snap of my finger, insert a suggestion there, and then divert your attention and anchor your moods with the snap, so that every time I snap, you start to feel happy, and I can psychologically manipulate you like that, but I cannot override your will if you don't let me, even though I can get dangerously close. You are that possible. So let me tell you what we're going to do, what ritual we're going to do, and why it's going to work. Some of you might start to notice. I want you to comment a wave emoji or a fire emoji if in your peripheral vision for like a split second, you start to see something and then you start to focus and it's gone. Like with your peripheral, like it's like, you start to, for a split second that you're not even aware, it's like you see something looking at you, you see something. This is not a hallucination, but you don't want to try and make sense of it. It's only going to be a hallucination if you try and act like you really saw it. Okay? Don't try. That cat moon really does humble me. Don't try and like make sense of it. Just affirm that you experience it. That dynamic to where it's split second is going to slowly shift to constantly a part of your reality. What I'm speaking of, shout out to Verge, the astrologer. I'm going to have a peace talk with him soon. What you're experiencing, the reason why you can't, quote unquote, experience both is because have you ever been able to watch 2 channels at the same time? And I'm not talking about pip screens, because Mercury in Pisces is a huge pip screen where it's like you're watching a main channel and then you have a small pip of what's happening in the spiritual realm. I'm not talking about pip screens. You cannot have channel 2 on at the same time channel 3 is on. So anytime you see that at the peripheral, it's like the other channel. You have to fully engage. Well, this is changing. They're going to slowly merge. Pisces season is going to merge this. And then we're going to get to Taurus season and whoosh, timeline fully shifts out of Gemini season. You guys are so psychic, it's not even funny. Okay. I am one of the most psychic beings in the universe. Me. I have the spirit of Archangel Michael. I'm one of the most powerful and psychic beings in the universe. And all you guys watching are more powerful than me. So what does that say about you? You have no excuses. If you're watching this, you are most likely more psychic than I am. I specifically came down in this lifetime. I'm South Node Leo. I specifically came down in this lifetime to experience what it's like to be a flawed being, to experience what it's like to live with the lowest awareness, and to learn that the highest and lowest are lowest size. Okay, so I say that with pride. I can walk into any environment, and even though I'm super psychic, it doesn't mean that I'm like the best person ever. And that is what Mercury and Pisces wants to teach you. Okay, it's not about being the best. It's not about having the most. Studies have shown that the most successful people aren't really specialized in one field. They know how to utilize people who are the best in other fields. They might just know a little bit about everything. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know. I mean, I know I remember reading that somewhere. I don't know if it's different now, but that concept. The point I'm trying to make is, no, don't Virgo me, somebody. Be like, oh, could you give me the exact article? Get out of here. The concept that I'm trying to share to you is that you don't have to worry about who or what part of you is the best. It's not about that. We're in a fluctuating state of vibrational energy. And if there's any part of you that denies that you are a sacred supernatural being, then you allowed yourself to lie to yourself. No one lied to you. No one lied to you. People might have told you things that weren't true, but only you could have listened and believed them. If someone lies to you and you believe that lie, it's your fault. And I'm not talking about if you're deceived. If you didn't know the truth and you're deceived, it's not your fault for being deceived. But if you knew the truth and you let somebody lie to you because you were afraid, you can't blame them. You can't play victim. Okay? You have to own up. A lot of you just have to take responsibility and take your power back. So the ritual we're going to do is we're going to connect our energies together while we're 500 strong. Because we're 500 strong, this is denoting about maybe over, I want to say 30. Let me get a calculator. 500 divided by 12 is 41. And we're not talking about 12 even, because it's not like it's that even, but we have about over 30 groups that represent each zodiac sign. This compounds and stacks the exponential effect of rituals, which I love being able to say, because those of you who have participated, you've experienced firsthand, we the real deal. I'm not just saying this. Every ritual we've done, super amazing. Okay, so keep that in mind. Shout out to Gia, who just had a deja vu moment. This is a timeline shift. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect our energy together with the elements. We're going to connect and show each other love. We're going to turn on our vibration. Instead of connecting with the elements, what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our vibration, feel our energy. Then we're going to connect with everyone else in a live chat so we can supercharge our energy. Then, and as a spiritual kumbaya circle, we're going to imagine, we're going to have a shared imagination where we're all a part. This is what's going to make this work. We're all, everything that we imagine, we're going to incorporate everyone else in this vibe tribe as a part of it. That's what's going to strengthen this intention. And then we're going to evoke feelings. That's why Pisces is imagination, because invoking this invisible emotional realm through imaginations to evoke feelings and to trigger them. That's why the site of Cancer, did you notice? Cancer is feelings. How do you see feelings? Through your imagination. Ninth house, Pisces. Okay. And then the depth to which you feel it is Scorpio. So keep that in mind. We're going to connect our energies, share this imaginative higher reality. Okay. And after that, we're going to feel that energy. And then we're going to send a mass intent out into the universe and release it. And we're going to set the intention to be escorted into our personal magical realities and worlds. Now, before, and I shout out to Empress Daisy. We had a conversation about this earlier. Before I go into this, all right, I'm going to read the article about transurfing. So please, this might be a little boring, but this is a part of the ritual. Okay. We're going to start the ritual now. And as I read, what I'm reading is going to affect your subconscious. So it's going to seem boring. You could read along with me, but charge your energy with every word that I say. So we're going to at least help you understand what we're stepping into, and you can get an intellectual understanding. Then after I read the article, we'll connect our energies, and then we'll imagine together. We'll release the energy, and then we'll give permission to spirit to step us into our magical world and portal. Okay. The reason why you need permission is if time stopped when you're not ready and like a magical door opened, like you're literally, some of you can get pissed because it's like, oh, I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? Some of you don't want to see spirits because it's like, I don't want to see you. I know you're around there. I don't want to see you. A friend told me about an experience where a spirit showed up to her and she was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And she just went under the covers. And like, I feel her on that. Like, I act all tough. I probably would have done the same thing, but I'm a Gemini at the end of the day. So I'd be like, what's up? You know, just start talking. So keep that in mind. This is where you're going to really start experiencing. It's hard to say because some of you have been experiencing, so you're not going to start. Some of you have been experiencing it, but you didn't know you were perceiving it that way. It's going to be clear, and it could be scary. So the dark side of this transit, which this ritual is going to expedite the dark side too. But the thing is, you just need to confront it. Spirit will put you in situations that you're afraid of, just so you could realize it is nothing to be afraid of. In order to build courage and strength, you have to go through what previously made you nervous. Embrace it, brace it, and then walk through victorious. All right. So the last thing that I want to say is that the Masonic influence and secret society influence is going to be exposed and revealed. Okay. This is going to reveal certain people in your life that secretly have been Freemasons, that secretly have been in societies where they do ritual sacrifices, and that definitely influence a lot of our world who are hidden in plain sight. All right. Think about all the Masonic lodges. Do you think they just meet in there and just have coffee and talk? There's some serious shit that goes down there. Some of you know Masons who you don't even know are Freemasons because they don't share it. Some of you know members of secret societies who you don't even know have been canvassing you, have been trying to recruit you, have been waiting for the day that is right to probably kidnap you and use you for their ceremony or induct you in. This isn't a bad or good thing. Some of these societies could be your tribe you've been looking for. Some of these societies could be child sacrificing ritual organizations that you're destined to expose. Okay. So keep that in mind. You're going to be exposed to this. And the way that this influence is going to expose to you is in a position that will let you know the reality. Okay. And you're going to start to be in a position, if you're being exposed to this, not everyone will. If you're being exposed to this, it's because you have a key integral part to either join or expose. Not every secret society is an evil organization. Okay. So keep that in mind. And all I have to say is thank you guys for making it. It's been real. It's been real. It's been nice knowing you guys. You know, as we shift these timelines, this version of me, the contract that my conscious had was to escort this vessel up until his 29th year and solar return, 28th, 29th solar return. And then there's going to be a walk-in and I'm gone. So it's bittersweet. It's been so fun. After that, I'm going to go back to the angelic realm where my home is. And then the soul inside me is going to take me over and you're going to see my cat moon come full out because that's the real me. I'm going to be a lot more Saturnian. I might not be as fun Gemini, but it's been real, y'all. It's been so real. It's been so real getting to know you guys. I'm honored that I got to know y'all. You know, I definitely feel like I've lived a full life, even though I've lived multiple timelines in one, but it is what it is. So, other than that, you must not be afraid to appear delusional. Some people are so psychic. Some people are so capable, but they're afraid about how they look. And they let something so superficial block their full potential. Because people who don't matter, I mean, they act like they matter. They give the impression that they do, but they don't. The only way they matter is the atoms. If we're talking about matter in that place, pun intended. You're letting people who don't matter to your plot affect you because they might think that you're delusional. That's why I'm wearing this forehead protector right now. From a fictional narrative, even though the Naruto universe is a real world that was created by someone, it exists. It is a real world that exists. You can watch it right now. Doesn't mean that it's real physically, but the spirit of that energy exists. I got taken over by Naruto in the beginning because his spirit exists, and I channeled it through me and put this forehead protector on. And someone from a non-corporeal world is influencing the way I dress. That's how the real and existential these imaginary realms are. Don't let people tell you it's just your imagination. It's deeper than that. That's why some of your parents who are way too in tune, they're like, we don't want you having imaginary friends. The parents that didn't want you to have imaginary friends, they're lit. They knew that as a child, your imagination is actually a portal to other worlds that can bring in and channel other energies. So that's why imagination is after Capricorn. You have to have responsibility with your imagination. I love you guys too. You guys show me love. It's so amazing. So keep that in mind. Shout out to Feels with Mish. We gonna have a peace talk sooner than later. And really, really keep that in mind once again. Really be in a position to embrace this. My apologies, Monica. I didn't realize I didn't send you our consultation, so I'm going to send that right now. And yeah, other than that, before we hop into the Peace Mobile, for those of you who would like to upgrade a 20-minute reading to a 30-minute reading, please use the code DIVINITY. When you order a 20-minute reading, I will upgrade it to a 30-minute. Shout out to those of you who have ordered the romance readings because they're lit now. Now I have the romance angel cards. So the way I do romance readings are I will pull 2 cards, one to signify your soulmate. If you don't know who your soulmate is, you will know who they are and the state they're in. One to signify you, and then an oracle card to show the state of this. We're doing this ceremony now, Robert. Great question. And then I'm going to pull 2 spreads. And then I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards from the Whispers of Love oracle card deck. Okay. So now I want you to drain all your stress to the earth. I want you to feel all fears and stress. Let Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, drain it away. Take it away. Take it away. Take it away. All right. Yeah, I did get blurry all of a sudden. What's that about? But keep that in mind. Let this drain, 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 drain. Okay. And I want you to now, and please hit that like button if you haven't already. Thank you, Miss Leo Scorp Aqua. Very glad. I want you to now feel your energy, feel your Nen. Some of you can just take time to take a deep breath, breathe down to your diaphragm. The breath of life activates your energy. Anytime you breathe, it activates your Nen, which is your water and your fire, because air manifests water. After air sign breath, it's feeling, thoughts, direct emotion, which now comes back in a loop and affects thoughts, which affects emotion, loop, loop, loop. So, bloop, 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 bloop. So keep that in mind. I'm feeling the vibes. Okay, I should just word my "you know the vibes" shirt. Okay, just don't channel the sun. I got you, Strawberry Time. Not this time. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna channel Neptune instead. Welcome, ladies and gents. This is Neptune channeling itself through the Peace Dealer. I would like you to calm down your vessel. Calm down your fish suit in this human realm. You know, you humans are so amazing. You worry about this, you worry about that. You section your time off in days when your reality is timeless, and you give yourself constraints as if you have to be at a certain time at a certain place when you're already here. I want you to just relax, step into my realm, close your eyes, and imagine. Do you believe? Belief is the doorway. Your vibration is the key into a magical reality. The Peace Dealer channeled that for me. He doesn't even know that. He doesn't know anything. So I want you to breathe in and then breathe out. Yes. When you're breathing out, feel the stress leave your body. Feel the pain drain away. When you breathe in the satisfaction of knowing you are a powerful being that creates your own reality with me. And breathe out with gratitude everything you want to manifest in your reality. Maintain this breath, and for the next couple of minutes, I simply want you to just feel your energy. Don't worry about how it's supposed to feel. Some of you are going to feel a tingling essence from down your spine. Some of you are going to feel an overwhelming peace that makes you feel super fine. Some of you are going to feel a bit tipsy, like you drank some wine. Some of you are going to feel amazing, like you drank directly from the vine. Yes, Diddy sign me now. Neptune wants to be a bad boy. Anyway. Oh, wow. Yeah. Sorry. Anytime I channel Neptune, like I can't keep a straight face. Like Neptune is hilarious to me. But other than that, I want you to feel your energetic signature. When you shut off your mind and focus, your energy will now start to focus. Some of you already feel it, like especially if you're a water sign and even some earth signs, you can feel it like completely, like you live constantly in tune with your energy. So feel your energy. The Teal Company is right. Anyone who has a Pisces moon or a Pisces sun knows that Neptune is a dark mofo. Neptune is super dark. Super dark. Okay. It's just I have Neptune on Saturn on my moon, so I can put Neptune in check. Whenever it wants to be dark, I'll just be like, no, 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 Neptune, come on now. So keep that in mind. I can't keep Neptune in check if we're in its realm. It'll devour me. But now that we're in the real world, I have a little bit of leeway. How do you vibrate? Feel your vibration. Remember, the whole point of Neptune is that it goes nowhere. Neptune represents a diffuse state of energy that is everywhere at once. So, this is what's going to lend you, whenever you follow the trail of Neptune or your intuition, it doesn't take you anywhere, it takes you everywhere. So if you're looking for an answer, you will never find it. If you're looking for a destination, you'll never find it, because Neptune just wants to bless you with the experience. It's Saturn that brings you back to reality, which is why all these planets are necessary. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining. Hey, Stefan, you just joined at the right time. We are barely starting this ritual. So I want you to feel your energy as you drain your stress to the earth. You should start to feel at a subtle level. The best way is to feel your energy like you're wearing it like clothes, and just feel from your fingertips and your neck and everything, almost as if it's like a thin layer of energy around every part of your body. And you could even feel the earth strengthening it with vibrations, feeding and nurturing your aura. You can picture sunlight coming down to strengthen it. Feel it. Okay. So if you're doing this right, if you're breathing down to your diaphragm, and if you're breathing out gratitude, you will start to feel a tingling sensation in your body. Hold that feeling. And while I read this article, maintain this breath. So after I'm done reading the article, you'll find that your aura is at a charged state. How are you charging your aura? Your breath charges it. All right. So let's go. This is a great time if any of you want to smoke the herb or drink a little bit. This is a great time. This slight alternate shift will help facilitate these vibes. All right, as you can see, there's doorways. Each doorway represents a different possibility you can take. Transurfing of reality in a nutshell. 12 golden rules of transurfing. How to shape your reality and make your wishes come true. Okay. In a nutshell, transurfing. Shout out to Elliot Arano once again. He helped introduce me to this concept. In a nutshell, transurfing is a model of seeing and controlling the world. In Russian countries, speaking in Russian-speaking countries, this book became a bestseller and iconic piece of esoteric philosophies. Many ideas of the transurfing were known long before Vadam Zeland. Nevertheless, this book is simply amazing and helps people look at the world from a completely different angle. It is important to understand prior to reading that transurfing is no panacea for all woes. Applied in a smart way, transurfing can become truly powerful tool, a tool for shaping the reality and materialization of one's wishes. It works, proven in practice. From someone who has done this personally without even knowing I was doing this, it works. And if you don't believe me, ask a Pisces. They live this, okay, or Pisces moon. The space of variations. According to the concept of reality described in transurfing, the world has an infinite amount of variations and forms of the reality. It means that the world can be perceived as an information structure that contains the infinity of variations of materialization with their individual scenarios and decorations. The space of variations can be imagined as a sort of tree with an infinite amount of branches. By the way, this article is on medium.com, and I will post this in the comment section below if you want to read this. Imagine as a sort of a tree with an infinite amount of branches and their entanglements where each branch or neuro-linguistic brain, or what do you call that? Represents a certain possible variation. Neural pathway, rather. Zealand suggests that our mind travels along the lines in the space of variation, the lines of life, and an energy potential, as an energy potential, materializes the variation that is tuned to. In other words, your inner world is this variation, and the door is your body into this reality. So the first rule of transurfing is the irradiation of mental energy induces the materialization of the variation. The irradiation of mental energy is Pisces in Mercury in Pisces, rather. It means that the thoughts that we transmit inconspicuously transfer us, our materiality, our destiny, to the lines and sectors of the space of variations, which literally correspond to our thoughts. Transurfing says that we can't change the scenario of variation, i.e., change the sector of the space of variations. However, we can choose another scenario and move to another variation by simply changing the parameters of our transmitters, our thoughts. For example, you can get rejected, and you can imagine all day that this person will change their mind about rejecting you. Or you can just decide to change how you feel about being rejected and realize it's not that big a deal. And it makes you a better person because of how you handle it. We shouldn't fight for the happy life. We just have to consciously choose it. Pendulums, in accordance to transurfing, people who think in the same direction create invisible energy information structures that directly affect us in a daily life. They are called pendulums or egregores. Essentially, a pendulum is a sort of thought condensate, a soul of a thing, idea, doctrine, organization, ideology, or anything that has admirers, supporters, followers, and fanatics. Pendulums can be religious, political, familial, national, and corporate. A pendulum can reveal itself during some massive public event. A football game, for example. Many material things that we value start to have pendulums. For example, new iPhone or money. Once they appear, pendulums can put people that created them under control. They don't have consciousness or a consciousness. Their sole purpose of existence is to draw energy from the followers, okay? Like Jesus. Jesus Christ is a huge pendulum because people have created collective consciously an image of this being. And so it draws from them. The bigger the followership that feeds the pendulum with energy, or Allah, okay, the more powerful is the pendulum. If the amount of followers decreases, its vibrations die out and it dissipates. If the amount of followers decreases, its vibrations die out. Most of the pendulums have destructive nature because they drain energy from their followers and oppress them. Pronounced examples of pendulums are the pendulums of war, economic crisis, and criminal gangs. A pendulum opposes its followers to other groups. We are good and they are bad. A pendulum aggressively accuses everyone that didn't decide to become a follower and tries either to attract or to neutralize / destroy him. Tax season and refund checks. It doesn't matter whether you love or hate something. It doesn't matter if you fight for it or against it. In both cases, you are swinging a pendulum and it becomes stronger by feeding on your energy. A pendulum doesn't care if the energy is negative or positive, both work equally well. The main objective of a pendulum is to hook you up. The means are not important. The goal is to keep you busy thinking about it, giving away your mental energy. The most common method of getting access to your energy by pendulum is disbalancing you. When you lose your balance, you start to swing on the frequency of a pendulum, allowing it to gain more momentum. A pendulum may control you with fear, inferiority complexes, sense of guilt, and false importance. Are you guys following me here? I hope I'm not boring you. For instance, when a pendulum captures your mental energy, your attention in a loop, and you tune in your attention in a loop and you tune into its resonance frequency, you get mad, annoyed, feel anger, and resent. By doing this, you give away your energy at the same time moving to the variation where there's an excess of things that you are futilely trying to avoid. You start to have a feeling that things that you are afraid of, despise, or hate chase you everywhere. Okay? You can't fight a pendulum. There are only two ways to get out of the influence of a pendulum: cause it to collapse or extinguish it. So the second rule of transferring is, in order to get rid of a pendulum, first, you need to admit that it exists and it has a right to do so. You have to calm down and lose interest towards it, i.e., ignore it. By doing so, you will deprive it of your mental energy. And to co-sign Theresa, Aaron Doughty is one of the pros when it comes to like transferring and timelines. So check out his videos because he'll definitely get you at speed. This whole article is Mercury and Pisces, y'all, and Pisces season. Okay. When you are calm and indifferent towards it, you can save your energy and use it to transfer to positive variations of life. If you start to get annoyed, simply rent yourself out. Step outside the situation and become an observer, not an active participant. Extinguishing of a pendulum requires certain mastery, Pisces. Basically, you have to start doing offbeat, unpredictable actions that will cause a dissonance, Uranus, and disrupt the scenario of a pendulum, Neptune. Of course, not all pendulums are destructive. There are many harmless pendulums, like a pendulum of sport and healthy lifestyle. Medium is a pendulum too. It has its gravity, and many people, including me, feed it with the energy of attention. But energy structures like this are beneficial for followers on an individual level and a group, which is amazing because the ritual we're going to do is to create a pendulum together by connecting our energy and then feeding it the energy so that it can integrate with us outside of this realm. Or however I was supposed to say that. So I hope you, while I'm reading this, the one who cares the least has all the power. So true. I hope while I'm reading this, you guys are breathing in because we're gathering the elements. The first thing we did was earth. Okay. We grounded our energy. The next thing we're doing is air. I'm reading with the air element information to prepare you for water, where we connect our energy and heal each other. Okay. So keep that in mind. Please, while I'm reading, breathe deep down your diaphragm. And as you're breathing down, breathe in your greatest self, what your greatest self feels like. Breathe out gratitude. You're breathing in your manifestation. You're breathing it out to manifest it. The wave of luck. The transurfing describes the wave of luck as a collection of positive lines in the space of variations. The cascade of luck will follow only if you built up the momentum from first success. Destructive pendulums will try to lead you away from the wave of luck. But if you drop the importance, you will gain the freedom of choice. The third rule of transurfing is, by accepting and transmitting the negative energy, you create your individual hell. By accepting and transmitting the positive energy, you create your individual heaven. It is not enough to close your heart from the external negative energy. You shouldn't be a source of it. Close your mind to bad news and open it for good. You need to carefully nurse and cherish the smallest positive changes and successes. Those are harbingers of the wave of luck. Excessive potentials. Excessive potentials are created when you give too much attention and value to a certain object or event, like a twin flame. The subjective evaluation distorts the objective reality, giving an object or event exaggerated negative or exaggerated positive attributes, like starting to see synchronicities and thinking it means anything. Excessive potentials are invisible and insensible, but they play a significant and often insidious role in people's lives. The equilibrium forces, which are targeted to remove the excessive potentials, will come into play. They cause massive problems because their action is opposite to the intent that created the potential. For example, discontent with oneself and one's shortcoming qualities, appearance, self-flagellation, resentment. Equilibrium forces, the aggravation of shortcomings. Solution, self-development, compensating the shortcomings. Okay. Condemnation and discontent with the outside world. Equilibrium forces, losing the power to impact the world. Solution, to accept the world as it is. Idealization, overvaluation, creation of an idol, dependence on the object of love. Equilibrium force, debunking of myths. Disappointment. I got you, Lace Thoughts. Unconditional love without the right to own and depending on object, which is the solution, okay? Looking down on others, condemnation of others, arrogance, excessive pride, sense of superiority. Equilibrium forces, a slap from the universe. Transferring a person to negative lines of life. Solution, to develop without assessing your position and judging others, okay? And if you want to read the rest of this, you can read it on the link when I post it, okay? Or here's another more of a cheat sheet, quick reminder version. Sense of guilt. Universe, punish me. Sense of superiority. Universe, slap me hard for my overinflated ego. Inferiority complex. Universe, prove me everything is so important. Discontent. Universe, give me more reasons to be happy. Idealization. Universe, smack my face with the ground of reality. Blah. Contempt. Universe, push me back down into my place. Excessive desire. Universe, make sure I don't get it. Perfectionism. Universe, make my life a struggle. I love this. I'm going to keep this. That's amazing. Especially the excessive desire. It's like by you desiring it so much, you don't get it. Like I noticed that, and this is what I used so that I can block myself from relationships. At some point, I was like, oh, okay, if I want it so much, I won't get it. And it's worked. It's amazingly worked. But and because it's so to the point where I know once I stop, it comes in. And just like that, all the time. All of the excessive potentials can be generally described with one word: importance. The importance is the purest form of excessive potential, and equilibrium forces create massive problems for a person who creates it. This knowledge results in the fourth rule of transurfing. In order to get in balance with the outside world, have freedom from pendulums, and freely fulfill your desires, one needs to reduce the importance. After dropping the importance, you will immediately enter the state of balance. You become empty, and the pendulums can't establish their control because they simply can't hook up the emptiness. You shouldn't become an emotionless statue. You should simply change your attitude and stop struggling, constantly keeping in mind that you always have a right to choose. And a way to perceive this, for example, it's like, you know, it's going to flow back and forth. You're going to receive stimulation and then desire, which is not wrong to have, but then you also need to balance that by not placing too much importance. Like, oh, I desire this so much, but if I don't get it, it's cool. In fact, I can get something better. In fact, thank you that I even had the experience to desire this, and move on. You balancing that way speeds up manifestation. Induced transition. Even though it's not meant to speed up, it still does that. The concept of transerving implies that each person creates his own thoughts with a separate layer of the world in which he or she lives. An emotional response to a negative event induces a transition to a negative line of life, pulling you into a pendulum vortex. Okay? By being actively interested in any negative information and emotionally responding to the negative news, a person subconsciously draws the bad stuff into his life and at some point turns from an outside observer into a participant of the nightmare. The most common vortexes of destructive pendulums are war, a crisis, unemployment, epidemics, panics, disasters, and others. You can prevent dragging yourself into such a vortex by applying the fifth rule of transurfing. Do not let any negative information into your layer of the world. Intentionally ignore it, deprive it of attention, and don't engage with interest. There is no need to actively avoid the bad stuff. And even more so, you shouldn't fight it. You just have to stay indifferent, empty. Don't get triggered when dark forces try and mess with you. Just ignore it. Don't feed it any energy. You're not going to feed it power. Okay? Let them say whatever they want to say. They deserve to have that moment. If certain people feel good putting you down, that's because they're insecure losers. Okay? But you don't have to trigger yourself. You can stay indifferent to it. Rustle of morning stars. According to the theory of transurfing, materialization moves in the space of variations, resulting in what we call life. Depending on our thoughts and actions, certain sectors get materialized. Our soul has access to the whole information field and sees what lies ahead. In the future sectors that are not realized yet, the soul knows if the variation is good or bad for us. And its senses are perceived by the mind as a vague sensation of spiritual comfort or discomfort, so-called rustle of the morning stars. This knowledge we call intuition, and it can greatly help us in life. The sixth golden rule of transurfing: it is necessary to listen to the state of spiritual discomfort. If you have to persuade yourself, then the soul says no. That's a huge one, so I'll read it again. It is necessary. Oh, Vibe High says, I know I have a twin flame, just not sure who he is. This sounds cliche, but if you don't know who your twin flame is, look in the mirror, because your twin flame literally has your same vibration. So if you know who you are, then you'll recognize them when you see them because you know your vibe. So keep that in mind. It is necessary to listen to the state of spiritual discomfort. If you have to persuade yourself, then the soul says no. When making a choice or taking any decision, listen to the quiet inner voice of your soul. It will help you avoid getting on the negative lines of space and variations and advise you how to make the right choice. The current of variations. Zealand identifies two extremes of behaviors in life situations: swimming like a willless paper boat and stubbornly insisting rowing against the current. Moving along the first path, a person sort of asks for alms for his destiny, addressing his requests either to pendulums or to some supernatural forces. In this case, the person liberates himself of responsibility and gets stuck in internal importance. If a person does not like the role of the requester, he can choose the second way, to take on the role of the offended. That is, to express dissatisfaction with the world and to demand something like he's entitled to have it. He can take the role of the warrior and turn his life into a continuous struggle with pendulums and equilibrium forces trying to change the whole world. That's personally me right now. From the transurfing point of view, all ways seem completely absurd. Transurfing offers a whole new way. Do not ask. Do not demand. And do not fight. But just go and take it. I.e., to express the pure intention, designate the goal, and start taking steps toward the goal. It's 10:44 p.m. If you know you have a sacred partner out there, if you know you have an intent, believe it. And don't worry about how you're going to manifest it. Be happy that you've just manifested this right now. You're inevitably going to come into contact. The current of variations usually occur. Hold on, let me just do this right now. See, this is how Gemini I am. I can't even focus for a whole article. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Okay. The current of variations usually occurs along the path of least resistance. The space of variations contains the infinite variety of realities, Sagittarius square Pisces. But it is more likely that the optimal and least energy demanding variations will be realized. Therefore, the seventh golden rule of transurfing addresses the question of how to increase the energy efficiently in our daily lives and reduce the resistance of the outside world. It could be formulated as follows. In accordance with the principle of moving with the current, everything should be done in the easiest and simplest way. The rabbit hole is sucking us in, just like Damien D said. When you make a decision, and we're almost done with this article, the mind makes a choice based on logical reasoning. However, the mind, being under the pressure of stress, worries, depression, or exaggerated importance and constant activity, Mercury, doesn't always choose the best course of action. Often it is inclined to complicate the solution of the problem. You can blame Virgo for that, but it's not solely Virgo's fault. But the correct solution always lies, actually Gemini does that too, on the surface. This is usually the simplest solution. In tangled and uncertain situations, the best thing to do is to harmonize yourself with the outside world and surrender to the current of variations. It's not about becoming a willless paper boat on the waves, but about not uselessly slapping the water with your hands on the water while it's enough to make smooth, simple movements. Miguel Girl 1, we're doing some stuff together now. For those of you who aren't aware, we are mid-ritual. Reading along this is part of the ritual. So just breathe down to your diaphragm and breathe out gratitude. While gliding in the current of variations, you need to calmly accept possible deviations from the scenario, but you should also pay attention to the signs. Lines of life are qualitatively different from each other. Signs warn us because they appear before the transition to another line. Signs create a feeling as if something is not right. The state of spiritual discomfort is a clear sign. As when you're discomforted spiritually, you're in between timelines. Intent, which I believe is Mars. Anyway, transurfing is like surfing on the waves, but surfing from one variation of reality to another. Shout out to Kiara. Let's all give her positive vibes for her essay. The transition to the desired sector of the space of variations is realized not by the desire itself. and not by the thoughts of the desired, but by a firm attitude, our intention. The intention is the determination to own and to act. Taurus, Mars and Taurus. Wow. Mars, really. The intention does not imply thinking if the goal is achievable or not. That's for some of y'all. I think this is a message for some of y'all. The intention does not imply thinking if the goal is achievable or not. The intention implies that the goal is defined. The decision to implement has been made. So the only thing that remains is to act. Zealand divides the concept of intention in two types. The internal intention is the intention to do something by ourselves, to influence the world around us by focusing our intention on the process of our movement to a goal. The external intention is the choice of the line of life in the space of variations. This is the green light of the self-realization of the variation of reality. It's a focus on how the circumstances align themselves so that the goal realizes itself. If the inner intention is the determination to act, then the external intention is the determination to own. The external intention arises not as an act of will, but as a consequence of the unity of the soul and mind. Therefore, it is also called pure intent. In order to realize the external intention, it is necessary to clear it of excessive potentials and to conduct a conscious observation of your life, preventing the pendulums from hooking you up. The eighth golden rule of transurfing reality can be formulated as follows. The internal intention, our determination, must be directed towards the unity of soul and of the mind. Our wishes are realized by the external intention, i.e., intention to own, our deep belief and concentration on how the goal is realized by itself. The unity of soul and mind with respect to the goal, wish, is a sense of clarity without words, knowledge without faith, and confidence without hesitation. Well, numbers started dropping off. I started reading, and some people are like, "Oh, this is boring." Shout out to those of you paying attention, because this is the true essence of Mercury and Pisces. Slides. One of the key concepts in transurfing is the slide. The slide is a product of the imagination, Pisces, a distorted picture of reality. Our version of ourselves and the world around us is often formed through slides that our vision of ourselves and the world is often around us is often formed through slides that exist in our heads. Slides appear when you attach excessive importance to what others think of you. They appear as, didn't we just talk about this? Slides appear when you attach excessive importance to what others think of you. They appear as a magnifying glass of your shortcomings. If this slide is negative and filled with importance, it can transfer you to the sector of the space of variations where the negative is materialized in full force and turn your life into hell. In order to erase the negative slide, you need to reduce the importance and get rid of your complexes. The ninth golden rule of transurfing, and some of you already do this. Some of you are literally like, it's not that serious. And then dark forces make you feel like, oh, it is serious. But it's not. You're ridding its importance. The ninth golden rule of transurfing says, create yourself a positive slide pleasant to your soul and mind. Do not look at the slide as a picture, but live in it, at least virtually. Often look through your slide and add new details, okay? It's kind of like Blue's Clues, or it's kind of like having a slide where you have a mansion and you live in this mansion. It's in an alternate timeline, but it's your house. You're cooking eggs in that house right now, don't you know? And by constantly keeping conscious of it, you're pulling and dragging this into this reality and vice versa. Your slide should be yours, not a copycat from someone else's dream. Put on the positive slide, all that will bring you happiness. That's what we're going to do when we're finished with this article. We're going to connect our energy together and then overlap our slides, which will supercharge this ritual. Okay. Positive slide. Oh, put on the positive slide. Put on the positive slide all that will bring you happiness, love, good looks, a successful career, health, abundance, and excellent relationships with others. Positive slides help to incorporate the unbelievable into the zone of your comfort. Embrace the luxury of being worthy of all the best things in life. Absorb any information to strengthen the world of your dreams. Okay? That's the whole purpose of Pisces season, to get these slides ready for the rest of these zodiac seasons before we do it again next year. Ang Wu Tang, if you don't have to go back, you can continue right now. Anyone who's joining right now, just breathe deep down into your diaphragm, breathe out gratitude, and feel your energy, feel your aura. Okay. Sound slides, aka affirmations, include repetitions. I am justice. I deserve justice. I manifest justice because I deserve justice because I am justice. It is important. Sound slides, aka affirmations, include repetitions of the setting for a certain goal and serve as a self-programming for success. While repeating affirmations, it is important to feel and experience what you are saying. A separate affirmation should be narrow and positive. If anyone wants to send me healing Reiki energy while I read, so I can help tap into this, it's not mandatory, but any of you who are already doing it, thank you. You need to adjust the parameters of your transmission as if you already have what you wish. Most important part. While repeating affirmations, it is important to feel and experience what you are saying. A separate affirmation should be narrow and positive. You need to adjust the parameters of your transmission as if you already have what you wish. Because when you do that, you're going to feel the happiness as you already have it. This is the energy you want to channel and carry with you into this timeline so that you can use that as the key to step into the doorway in there. Okay. Thank you, counselor. Thank you, Lauren. Okay. Visualizations. Visualization, my friends, is Sagittarius. So this is Jupiter in Sagittarius, where visualization magic is so much more powerful. According to Transurfing, I felt a slight breeze. The focus on the goal, the final result, extends the comfort zone, a zone of what we can at least mentally afford, because you pay attention. You're paying your intent. You pay attention with your focus. That's the currency, your energy. The intention is the concentration of attention on the moving towards the goal. You are moved not by the goal itself, but by the visualization of the process of moving towards the goal. Let me replace that. You are moved not by Saturn itself, but by the Neptunian or Jupiterian process of moving towards Saturn. If the path to the goal is known, it can be broken down into separate stages. And then the objective becomes to concentrate attention only on the current stage. The 10th golden rule can be formulated as follows. Visualization in Transurfing is a vision of the process of realizing the current stage on the way to the goal. In other words, you need to direct your thoughts in a certain way, to think about the current stage, to imagine how it is already happening, to enjoy it, and to be interested in everything related to it. Don't worry if you do not see yet the way your goal will be realized. Continue to quietly and systematically visualize the slide. When the goal will completely enter your comfort zone, will stop seeming impossible. The external intention will show an appropriate solution. The soul frail. Each soul has its own individual star sectors, the path to complete self-realization. To get there, you need to stop your attempts of being like someone else. Stop attempts of repeating another person's scenario and to recognize the magnificence of your own individuality, Uranus. You have to be daring to turn your mind to your unique soul, Uranus. Do not be afraid to break stereotypes of pendulums that scream, do as I do and be like everyone else. The soul of each person has a unique individual set of attributes that characterize it. This is the soul frail. It is implicit. It is hidden under the masks of the mind. When your mind is tuned to the soul frail, you are satisfied with it. You love yourself. You live with pleasure and you do what you love. It is a shine, your inner light. This is the secret of charming beauty, charisma, attractiveness of a person, the harmony between the soul and mind. Pendulums try to take us away from this harmony, like saying you're a worthless sinner who needs someone to save you, setting their standards of prestige and success because their favorite food is the energy of discontent, envy, fear, and resentment. Therefore, the 11th golden rule of transurfing sounds like this. Your soul frail is the holy grail within you, your moon. In order to tune your mind to your soul frail, I hope I'm saying that right, you need to convince yourself that your soul is worthy of love in the first place. Take a good care of yourself. Pay attention to the slightest movements of your soul. Dare to ignore the stereotypes of pendulums and allow yourself to own your magnificent individuality. Dare to be conventionally delusional, because conventional delusion is actually divinity. Dare to be what people call delusional, because you're really just being yourself. Oh, that kind of sounded like a diss. Goals and doors. One of the biggest misconceptions imposed by pendulums is that you need to fight for happiness, persevere, and overcome many obstacles in order to win your place under the sun. According to transurfing, the happiness exists here and now on the current line of life, or it doesn't exist at all. That is facts. One of the biggest misconceptions imposed by pendulums is that you need to fight for happiness, persevere, and overcome many obstacles in order to win your place under the sun. According to transurfing, the happiness exists here and now on the current line of life, or it doesn't exist at all. One more time. One of the biggest misconceptions imposed by pendulums is that you need to fight for happiness, persevere, and overcome many obstacles in order to win your place under the sun. According to transurfing, the happiness exists here and now on the current line of life, or it doesn't exist at all. The 12th golden rule of transurfing: happiness comes during your journey to your goal through your door. Your goal is something that gives you real pleasure, something that gives you a feeling of joy, a feeling of a feast of life. Your door is the path towards your goal on which you feel fascinated and inspired. There is only one way to find your goal: drop importance. I'm telling myself that as much as I'm reading that to you. Drop importance. Turn away from the pendulums and start listening to your soul. And you know you're doing this right if you feel like you're starting to go crazy. You're not going crazy. You're just recognizing your individual guidance, which is not going to sound like everything you've known to conventionally be true because it's you and not everything else. When you think about your goal, you shouldn't think about its prestige, unapproachability, and the means to achieve it. Pay attention only to the state of spiritual comfort. Answer the questions. What does your soul want? What will make your life a feast? Achieving one main goal will cause the fulfillment of other wishes, and the results will exceed all expectations. Transurfing warns us about the danger of choosing someone else's goal. Another person's goal is always a violence against yourself, a coercion, a duty. Someone's goal can show up in a disguise of fashion and prestige. It can lure with its inaccessibility. The path to someone else's goal is always a struggle. Moving to someone else's goal always keeps a feast in an illusory future. Achieving someone else's goal brings disappointment and emptiness, not happiness. False goals are imposed on us by the stereotypes of pendulums. It is necessary to break stereotypes and set your mind free from them. If you want to achieve the goal in order to prove something to yourself and others, then it is not your goal. All these people who are like, everyone, to the people who didn't believe in me, look at me now. That's inauthentic, right? If you made a decision in your mind, but your soul feels uncomfortable, actually, that's not always inauthentic, depending on how you say it. If you made a decision in your mind, but your soul feels uncomfortable, then the goal is not yours. Soul discomfort is a feeling of a burden that is hard to notice as it is sinking in the background of the optimistic reasoning of mind or of optimistic reasoning of mind. So the basic principles that transurfing suggests: live by the dictates of your soul, bring the soul and your moon sign. This is literally saying to follow your moon sign. This is what Vedic astrology harps on, to let your sun sign support your moon. Okay, even though the moon supports the sun. Bring the soul and the mind into harmony. Actually, let me take that back because I don't think Vedic promotes that, but it's something like that. Okay. Bring the soul and mind to harmony. Bring your moon and your Mercury into harmony. Do not yield to extraneous influences that impose other people's goals. Do not fight with anyone or anything, including yourself. Use what life offers you. Be afraid of nothing. Choose your path and act consistently, and everything will turn out. Certainly, transurfing does not pretend to be a complete picture of the world. For example, it does not reveal the nature of the soul, the idea of its coming to earth, the further existence after death. Many concepts in transurfing are already known to us under different names. For example, excessive potentials and equilibrium forces recall karmic laws. And slides and intent remind us to the law of attraction. However, the existence of transurfing only confirms the existence of universal truths and laws by which our world operates once again. I've posted the link in the comment section below for anyone who wants to read this. I'm grateful for your time you took to read my essay. Amen. So that's it, y'all. Oops, that was the wrong button. Oh, okay. We back. Okay. Oh, perfect. So I want to kind of harp on that last part. We're gonna step into the main part of the ritual. That last part is important because certain things that were mentioned were a little bit controversial. It's saying don't fight at all. It's saying to literally just live by the dictates of your soul. That's inherently controversial based on what some pendulums will have you think. Pendulums of religion, pendulums of scientific thinking that really harps more on this material reality. You want to be mindful. All of this is describing Pisces. Piscean 12th house energy. Lauren, if you want to, you don't have to continue sending Reiki, but if you want to, you can. Anyone sending me Reiki, please send Reiki to everyone in the live chat now. This is all describing Pisces, the will to just surrender. Pisces does not fight because it realizes it's useless. No more fight for your rights, right? Because you're already in the right. Now, think about this. This is what happened in the civil rights. The civil rights era, the successful civil rights adopted this. Sit-ins, the whole theory of nonviolent protests, they won because they didn't fight. They fought. It was a fight that they won. But when we say don't fight, we're saying don't resist. All right. It's not saying to surrender to bad, because the whole part of this is to step into a more realistic reality. But that's why I wanted to touch on that, because it's not necessarily saying to just give up and let any oppressive energy take you over, but it's saying not to fight. Okay? Think about nonviolent protests and how they don't fight, but they still let their presence be known. And that still helps. Okay. So keep that in mind. Shout out to Verge, the astrologer, with the Reiki crystal. That's a very powerful Capricorn. So very, very grateful for you, bro. So keep that. Don't fight. Just be. Just be. Don't fight. Just be. Just like Lena just said. Okay. So now I want you to feel your energy. For all those who are open to Reiki, set your intention for crown chakra to golden violet color. Thank you, Walking Miracle. It is time to take our power back. All right. I want us to now feel our energy. Some of you will feel it deeply. You'll feel great vibrations and tingling. Some of you won't really feel anything. You'll just kind of think you feel it. It is okay. It is okay. I want you to imagine everyone's energy connecting together. Smile with your heart and feel everyone's energy connecting together. Feel the energy coming up from your Tantien to your heart, emanating to about arm's length. It's 11:11 over here. Make a wish. I wish upon the light that everyone fulfills their greatest desire tonight and for the rest of their life, so that they can live a stress-free life without fear and strife. And so it is. I want you to feel your energy connecting with everyone else, connecting at the heart level, and now connecting at every chakra. I want you to feel all of your chakras connecting with everyone else's chakra. Now, for some of you, instead of actually imagining 400 or 500 other people, you can imagine a central celestial energy. Imagine that there's Lady Rainstar said, if you want to sing, that's normal. Any of you who want to sing and raise the vibration, genius. Okay. I want you to imagine a celestial entity that represents all of our energies combined. And I want you to imagine all your chakras connecting to it. You are now connecting simultaneously with everyone else in the live chat. And this celestial energy is also connected to the world. So you're connected to all that is. And you should instantly start to feel a power boost. Like I instantly felt a power boost because I'm connecting to a greater source. All of us. Pace this with your breath. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take 10 deep breaths. Breathe in your greatest self. Breathe out gratitude. And I want you to now imagine your greatest self. Imagine as you transurf, not a perfect reality, because when you see it as a perfect reality, you're seeing something that's not really real. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be what you imagine. Okay. It could be totally unrealistic, but you don't want to see it as perfect because that's presupposing that this isn't perfect. Okay. The whole thing is you're not stepping out of a bad reality into a good one. You're stepping into a good reality into another great reality. Okay. Regardless of how you see your current situation. The perfect brain perceives all things as the present. Amen. So I want you to just imagine in your mind's eye where your greatest self is. For some of you, you're not going to see anything because you're currently here right now. So keep that in mind. Imagine it. What are you doing? How do you feel? Okay. The key here is to imagine how you feel. I haven't done the water test. I like to think of myself as a specialist, but I might either be a manipulator or a transmitter. I don't think I'm an emitter, and I don't think I'm an enhancer. So I'm not really sure. I think I might be a specialist, but I really don't know, to be honest. Great question. I don't think I'm a conjurer either. I know you can tell your Nen type with astrology. I'm just not sure yet. Thank you, Lita. We love you too. I want you to imagine you're happily ever after. Who are you with? How do you feel? What are you doing? We are now stepping into this timeline now that we're connected. Okay. And now I want you to imagine everyone else in the live chat as part of it. I'm imagining Sean McDougal, Ang Wu Tang, and David Rasha and Lena. We're all just talking. We're chopping it up. We're at a huge event. I'm at a huge convention where all of you are at, and I see all of you and everyone. See, my heart instantly started smiling because I started to feel into these vibes, and I'm feeling everyone rock out, and we're all dancing. We're having an amazing time, and everyone is just super successful and super happy, and everyone's high vibing. We're stepping into this future life. It's literally so amazing, y'all. It's so amazing. I feel this warm golden vibration in my heart, and I'm feeding it into this shared entity that represents it. I literally just felt boosting. I feel amazing. Now, if I'm ever depressed, I could just go into that timeline and feel it in the slide. I see all of you guys, even people that I haven't met. I feel your energy, and it's amazing. Oh my God, this is awesome. Okay. So continue to breathe this in. Okay, it's very important that you capture this energetic signature. This is where we get into the divine magic spell crafting. Okay, we're going to take 10 breaths together and really breathe that in and breathe out gratitude. All right. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo. Amen. So you're going to continue walking through this portal. Spirit descended in me as I opened myself, and I received a vision and a message. So for everyone who's watching, this does pertain to you. Okay, if you took part of this ritual right now, this pertains to you because I got it from the energy shared. So the vision I have, it's a vision that many of you have dreamed of. It's a vision many of you have already started working on. Spirit is already telling me some of you have been commissioned on this mission. Everyone here is a part of this soul group. And if you're watching this, I saw a vision of a happy family, the world being one happy family, where some people can look at that and laugh and be like, wow, that's far out. But it's actually closer than we realize. And we are going to gain assistance from primordial forces and celestial entities and real life people who are channeling celestial entities to bring about this big happy family where you can travel anywhere in the world, and we don't divide ourselves by race, and we don't look at each other different, and we embrace fully other people's cultures, and we're able to actually connect with each other, and we actually have fully realized our potential, and we literally are able to just connect, and we all love each other. And there's still problems, but we squash it as a family, and we don't have borders, and we're able to severely reduce the crime rate because we take care of each other as a family. We're all one big happy family. We are going to bring this about. There are people who are still hurting. There are people who are still damaged, who are betrayed, who will never believe that this will come. And they are meant to meet us so that we can fuel love into their lives, so that they can see us as examples that this world exists through us. There are going to be people who see you as corny, as cliche for believing this, and we're indifferent towards them. We only hold space with love. We don't see ourselves as better because we're more spiritual. We don't see ourselves as lower because they think they're better than us. We see us as equal, and we hold space for them to heal and come back and be equal with us too. As you maintain this vibe, dark forces are going to jump you because you're going to feel this positivity, and you're going to see guilt. You're going to see doubt. Ooh, Moon in the Tower card, which means stepping into this. You're going to really feel negative vibrations. And I encourage you, you are not alone. Bring to those positive vibrations your positive love. I literally have the Hermit. I literally have the Star. I literally have the Temperance card. So internally, you're going to manifest supernatural abilities for the sole purpose of bringing into fruition this mission. Spirit has now told me that you are going to be given extra gifts if you agree. Like, you already have your own psychic gifts that you've developed yourself because you took part of this ritual. This entity that exists as all of our energies combined is going to divvy us spiritual gifts so that we can use it to bring about this happy family and global world. So congratulations. If you are part of this broadcast, you are taking part in something revolutionary, and we're stepping into this portal renewed. And now I release this intent to the universe, all of this collective intent, and we now give permission to our prospective celestial guides to walk us through the magical portal into our own true magical worlds. We give you permission. I'll shake. All right, y'all. So that's it, man. I mean, we did it. I split the deck and I got the Moon, and behind the Moon, we got the Nine of Cups. So you're literally going to walk through a magical portal, y'all. It's not a joke. And keep that in mind. Now, all you have to do now, you're going to hear negativity. There are going to be entities that feed off your negativity, fear, and sadness, and you're going to hear it. You're going to have depression come up that is harsh, and you need to look at it with carry that same energy and just be indifferent. Be like, you cannot affect me. You can't affect me. I have so much to be happy about. Okay, so don't allow yourself to get depressed. Whenever you start to get dark, draw from this energy. And now I'm going to give the homework and I'm going to give the hack. I'm going to pull cards for the 12 signs for how this is going to help manifest through your sun sign. Okay, the homework, the Saturn and Cap homework is write down on paper, or at least in your heart. Write down on paper or write in your heart. At least, they can hate me now, but I won't stop now. At least 5 experiences you perceive your greatest self in. Okay, write down at least 5 experiences, or in your heart or your mind's eye, that you perceive your greatest self in. All right, one for me is me just rocking a crowd and everyone's feeling amazing vibes and we're all happy. Another is me fully efficiently utilizing my peak skills, and bring 3 more. Okay, and the Uranus hack to really continue this reality transurfing. Feel your energetic field and feel the feeling that your greatest self feels, and do everything that you do with that feeling. You're going to get distracted at some point if you do. And if you get knocked off balance, center yourself, draw the energy up, feel your greatest self, feel how happy you are that you're in this reality, and then go ahead and take action. That is what's going to have you walk through the door, because your key is the vibration. Okay. And perfect. This is we just did an open portal to magical worlds initiation. All righty. When you see your fellow brother and sister, know that this fight is not against flesh and blood. So they might be possessed by an evil entity that is antagonizing you and makes you want to hate them, but show them love. Don't enable their bad habits. Don't let them walk all over you. But even though your ego is gonna want to be angry and punch the crap out of that person, hold space. This is a spiritual war. Behind in that soul of the person that is trying to make you hate them is a hurt, wounded little child who needs to be acknowledged, who needs to be loved, whether they're going to admit it or not. So keep that in mind before you decide to give someone back negativity. That's why I see what it is. Like I'm at war against spirits, not actual people. Okay, so keep that in mind. The spirits can try and have us kill each other, but we're one big happy family out here. And it's our mission, if you choose to accept, to really remind the world of that. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! You can totally burn the paper. You could totally burn the paper. The Uranus hack is mindfulness spellcrafting. So the hack is you feel the feeling, you walk in every time you're about to do something, you just want to carry this energy and carry it through to you until April 16th. Once April 16th, what you're going to do is you feel the feeling and you speak. The spell crafting is saying, I speak this into my reality. If your vision, you're with your soulmate and you feel so happy, what do you feel? You'll feel happy that you're understood with an amazing soulmate. You feel them now as if they're already here, and you're just going to speak from now to April 14th. I'm so happy my soulmate's in my life. I'm so happy I really get to communicate with my soulmate. And what is this going to do? This is literally going to neurolinguistically create neural pathways to create this in your reality. And it's really just utilizing this transit to make it real. After April 16th, you don't have to do this anymore. You could totally let go, totally release. You don't have to do this hack. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Woo! All right. If you feel a lot of sexual energy, that's good. That's very good. Sexual energy is supercharged and it helps you manifest a lot more. This is why you have dark forces hypersexualizing people, because they attune sexual energy for you to actually link it with buying and purchasing items, which is why they sexualize advertisements. They even know the power. Aries moon, Aries rising. You can burn it whenever. You don't have to burn it at all. Aries, we have the Two of Cups. So this is this timeline shift in spellcrafting is going to revolve around love. All right. Connecting with the partner. You're going to find that you manifest a soulmate partnership to co-create this with. And this soulmate might actually be a celestial divine entity that expresses itself through different people or an actual person. Okay. Taurus moon, Taurus rising. We have the Knight of Pentacles. You're going to find that this divine magic spellcrafting and reality hack is going to ground into your reality. Taurus, this is saying you need to be consistent with your intent. The more reliable you are with this, the better. And you'll manifest a reliable friend to help you with this, probably a Virgo or Earth sign. Gemini moon, Gemini rising. We have the Three of Cups for you. The Three of Cups is speaking of you being in a place to celebrate. You want to celebrate everything that you're intending as if it's already here. You want to get with friends and actually party this in, kind of like I'm doing now. And I'm partying this in with you because I'm happy. Like I even if I die and the state of the world is in chaos and everyone hates each other, I'm dying with a smile on my face because I know the next generation is going to fulfill what we already were the catalyst for. I'm not letting this external reality blind me from the truth, which is unseen. I'm happy right now because I just binded with 460 plus people and I just made my dreams a reality and I'm happy. I'm not going to let anything stop me. I know this is real. I know that we've manifested this. So I'm actually going to celebrate right after this and do a ritual. This is also the ritual card. Okay. So Cancer moon, Cancer rising. We have the Cancer woman, the Queen of Cups. This is saying that you're going to attune and express your most psychic potential. Feel deeply into your emotions and allow yourself to be in love with life and in love itself. Fill your cup and be compassionate to everyone that you can be towards. Okay. Leo, which is hard because y'all have that opposition energy. Leo moon, Leo rising. We have the Two of Cups as well. So similar to Aries, it's a deep mutual love that's going to really help you. In other words, Aries and Leo, if you can find a partner that you can do sex rituals with, or you can both simultaneously do this with, whether a friend, whether with someone platonic, but whether with someone you have deep love with, that's going to feel, because it makes sense. Fire signs have more passion. And when fire signs are in love, they really affect reality. It's amazing. So keep that in mind. This is going to manifest partners for both of you. Virgo moon, Virgo rising. We have the Magician card, Mercury. This is saying that as above, so below. You're going to have the most magical experience of this because you're opposite this Pisces energy, and Virgo can notice the changes of the fabric of reality instantly. Sagittarius can too. So keep that in mind. What you speak into your reality is changing your reality, and you want to realize your potential through believing in yourself wholeheartedly. Libra moon, Libra rising. We have the Libra card. The Libra woman, the Queen of Swords. This is saying to apply your intellect, because as you weave these timelines, you're going to be able to apply advanced intellect and advanced concepts into something simple. Because I just gave you guys the basic version of this. You could take it advanced. This is saying to definitely be single-minded in your focus. And really, Libra, just be you. It's saying to be you. It's saying to be you. And Cancer be you, Libra be you. Okay. Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. We have the Two of Swords, the Moon and Libra card. This is saying that you don't want to allow yourself to be emotionally unstable. It's a compromise card. I don't think you like to compromise, Scorpio, but it's actually saying to be on the hush hush. I mean, I don't have to tell you to be on hush hush for secrets because that's just who you naturally are. But this is saying to not take a logical approach to something very emotional. See the manifestation of your wishes as something totally logical instead of something fantasy-esque. Because, I mean, it is really scientific. We're just utilizing our habitual patterns to change in order to change in a different reality. Okay. Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising. We have the 5 of Cups. Okay. Because you're brimming with positivity, this is going to confront all your disappointments. This is going to confront, because Pisces is your 4th house. This is going to confront all the fears you have and everything that you're sad about. You need to confront this. Let this well up. Feel it, be grateful for it, and let it go. Because some of you Sagittariuses are not allowing yourself to mourn because you don't want to feel that. You want to be optimistic. You know how to be positive. Well, Sagittarius, it's saying if you need to cry, cry it out. Like feel the sadness, but don't linger there. And once you feel it and process it, you're breaking through. Okay. So once this comes up, it's actually a good thing as opposed to a bad thing, because it means you're at the last part. Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising. We have the King of Pentacles. This is talking about reaching your financial peak. And it's also talking about, even though it's a Taurus card, connecting with wealthy individuals or a wealthy individual who is wanting to invest their time or money or resources into you. But I see this as you, Capricorn. I see this as you reaching your financial peak. And this is how your time, of course, Capricorn would want to reach their financial, oh God. Like that's their dream come true, just being able to buy the world. But keep that in mind, okay? Virgo was the magician, Nancy. Y'all got the most magical card. Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. I feel you, Virg. I feel you. We have the 8 of Swords, but I want to pull another one because I feel that was influenced. We have the Queen of Swords. So the 8 of Swords and the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, is saying that you need to change your thinking to change your life. Don't allow limiting beliefs to get in your way. Allow whatever negative thoughts arise as indicators of what needs to change, and just apply single-minded focus. Pisces moon, Pisces rising. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is tradition. Oh, no, Spirit is telling me it's a large sum of cash, a large wad of cash. Can we get a clarifier card? Oh, 2 of Wands. You know what? This could be, this 2 of Cups, this could be a long-term partnership with someone you have grandchildren with. So this is definitely legacy, tradition. Jupiter's in your 10th, and a lot of money. Some of you could even be marrying into a very rich family. So keep that in mind. You're stepping into a complete timeline. This is amazing. And I'm going to pull one more for everybody. I was not trying to pull the 8 of Swords for Aquarius. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is an old crone, a very wise woman who is here to nurture you and guide you along the way, okay? As you're walking towards this, she's waiting for you. The Queen of Pentacles means the best is yet to come, my friends. Remember that. The best is yet to come. All right. All right. Now I'm going to get to the super chat. Chad the Maverick. Shout out to LP. Take it back. I never lost it. Chad the Maverick, we have the Magician card, bro. You are realizing your greatest potential. Believe in yourself. You don't need to wait for anything else, fam. You have everything you need. And I know you're super talented. You're making it work right now. So keep on being a magician and utilize your skills and talents for whatever to get out of any problems you have. Cindy G, we have the 5 of Cups. You are processing negativity just like Sagittarius. The 5 of Cups Sag got is just the sadness of knowing that humanity has such a long way to go and they want to play with humanity, but humanity isn't ready to come into their fantasy land. So Sag is like, oh, I want to play with y'all, but you guys are so serious. For you, Cindy, this is really clearing a lot of this negativity through allowing it to flow through you. Okay, Miss Kiki, more on this new love tied with my move to the USA. We have the King of Cups. This is this is the Scorpio card, and I saw Star of the Underworld. Scorpio is the Star of the Underworld. So the King of Cups perhaps is this compassionate man. This is talking directly about this new love. So interesting. It could be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but definitely highly psychic, highly wise, highly compassionate. Pineapple kisses, rainbow wishes. We have the Justice card. The Justice card is talking about justice is on your side, and the decisions you make sure they're made with integrity, and you will be well, okay? The channeled message that I have for you, Naneru Hog, is to speak knowing that you have energy intentful in that speech. Thank you, counselor. So it's like you're speaking life to people, but adding the conscious awareness supercharges this. So when you speak with intent, you'll find your conversations are so much more powerful. Okay. Love and light. Good night, Lena. Love and light, Lisa. The channeled message that I have for your relationship with Andrew is you and Andrew want to do a ritual to commemorate your bond. Have you and Andrew done a special ritual to call to a special celestial or both of your higher selves so that you can both communicate with it? It's waiting for you to do so because it wants to come into your life, but you need to give it permission. Once you do so, this will, through spirituality, connect, and you'll find your connection is so much more fluid. Dark, raw, indigo. We have the 5 of Cups. You want to process any negative energy and sadness through the direct feeling of this. And after you release it, honor and acknowledge those emotions. Okay, it is okay to mourn. K. Martin, we have the 3 of Swords. You are separating and you are sacrificing. Allow yourself to move forward gracefully and sacrifice whatever your heart is ready to let go. Okay. Moon Bay, you are a source for people to psychically express themselves. Even as I was talking to you, I feel my heart expanding. So you're literally a hub for people to psychically like tap more into their spiritual gifts. People are going to be more psychic around you. People are going to be more spiritual. And you're literally helping to awaken people so amazingly with everything you do. You're just literally like this amazing magical like being. CG, we have the 7 of Pentacles. You are in victory, but slow it down. Take longer to assess your situation. Take your time with what you're putting into fruition, okay? And then slowly amass your wealth. Which wealthy entrepreneur is going to help me with business plan and fund it? The guy I'm talking to said he won't do it, that I must work for it. Nancy, we got the Magician for you. So we have the 3 of Swords. This is saying you need to make a couple sacrifices. You're totally going to be in a position where, thank you, Amaris, you're totally going to be in a position where you actually manifest the right influences and you're able to actually make this plan happen yourself, but you need to sacrifice toxic influences. Once they're gone, that will come in, okay? And we got the Magician for Virgo, so you straight. You got everything you need to fund this, okay? P did. The channeled message that I have for you is you want to start the process of casting life into people and literally like doing everything in your power to like call out dark spirits from people. If you feel a negative vibe, call out the spirit. Even if you sound crazy for doing it, call out that negative energy. You're super powerful right now. Paulina Nazar, we have the Queen of Cups. It is okay to feel deeply in your heart. You want to express this compassion towards people and the fact that it'll be courageous. This is also going to be a compassionate friend who is willing to lend their ear to you, okay? Davita NY, the channeled message that I have for you is to go farther than anyone else has gone. You're going to see a vision for the first part of the week, especially once the moon goes into Sagittarius, that you want to follow and run straight with and be in a position to very greatly, once again, like amazingly follow. And you're not going to notice it at first, but people are following your lead. People are waiting on your move because they don't want to admit it, but they know you got it going on. They know you know what you're doing. Even the same people who act like you don't, they actually watching you. So keep that in mind. Enoch, any messages? We have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is saying celebration is in store. You're manifesting results for all your spiritual work every day this week. Shout out to King Mitchell. All right, Aqua Elliott. We have the Emperor. The Emperor is saying you're stepping into powerful, powerful, powerful authority in yourself. Okay. And this is what's going to give you greater order with extra discipline. David Rosher, we have the Nine of Wands. It's saying that you need to have perseverance and your experience is going to pull you through. It's 11:44. The angels are rocking with you too. So you can call on their guidance at any time, at any place. Okay. Floor John Laurent. What spirit wants me to know? What do they want me to do? Live from your heart. The Knight of Cups is saying, make a song, do something very creative. Okay. Do something that's definitely going to allow you to really powerfully step into your romantic self. It wants you to almost be romantic and flirty with people so that you can appeal to people's emotions instead of their minds. One kinky boy. The channel message I have about this woman who just came into your love life, she's going to challenge your heart. She's going to go straight to the insecurities of your heart. Thanks for joining, Stefan. Any of you thanking me, thank you, because we were all a part of this. One kinky boy, she's going to go straight to your heart. She's going to address all the stuff that you've been suppressing in your heart. It's going to hurt. So keep that in mind. Get ready for sacrifices. Sun and Soul Astrology, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the High Priestess. The Eight of Pentacles and the High Priestess is talking about you being in a position to do spiritual work. It's almost as if you have a contract with this High Priestess, and it's definitely talking about doing meaningful, intuitive work. I don't know if you're live right now, so I'm going to text this to you. Bloop, bloop, bloop. All right. The dirtiest little gypsy rainbow. Yes, something better will come, and soon, before Aries season. We have the Two of Cups and we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is literally employment, but it looks like you're going to have a partnership. It looks like you might even start a partnership corporation. Okay. So, or you might meet someone with this new job, but the Eight of Pentacles is saying you will find meaningful work, but it looks like you're going to connect with a very sacred partner. Sharon Andrea, dreamt about my DM talking to me closely. We have the Hermit card. Listen to your inner guidance, which you have been doing to very great effect. This is really just encouraging you to keep doing that. And you're going to gain a very powerful epiphany from within that will move you forward. Okay. Patrice Eileen, I need a sign while I'm still here. We have the Seven of Swords. You're being called to take strategic action. And it's with the Queen of Cups. Beware of somebody who is deceiving you. But you want to be very mindful who you share your feelings to, because this is what's going to really influence greatly how you connect with other people. This is definitely going to help you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so keep that in mind, because this is literally going to help you move strategically with people who might be deceiving you. Gaby Marino, where is my magic? We have the Two of Cups. You share magic with the soulmate, especially as a Virgo. You're the real one, right? And your partner is probably a more celestial being, because your seventh house as a Virgo is Pisces, right? So you share such powerful energy and magic that you agree to split it with the soulmate, because too much would be too much alone. So your magic is in your heart, and it's the relationship you have with yourself and this partner who you're with in spirit. So go to where your love is. focus on your love life because you're manifesting each other now. El Jaco 2, we have the King of Cups, which is talking about you stepping into emotional mastery through deep breaths and compassion towards your fellow man. This will also be a friend that you can manifest. Andrea, we have the Four of Cups. This is talking about contemplation and the gratitude that you have, which will allow you to really sit with your feelings. Take some time to sit with your feelings this week and allow whatever comes up to come up. There's going to be a gem that comes up for you. KB Shang, for career, there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of burden. As long as you don't procrastinate and take care of it all, you'll be good. Try and find a way to delegate this work and to make original plans, all right? Because who you're working with or for is definitely going to hook you up. You're being tested to see how much you can handle, and just make sure that even though it's going to be a lot, try to delegate as best you can, but don't procrastinate and you will come into great success. April Howell, we have the Three of Swords. You might have to sacrifice an aspect of your career so that you can advance forward. But once you do, it's going to be very powerful. Okay. The elements of life, tax advice. We have the Seven of Wands. Okay. Stand up to how you're filing your tax. The Seven of Wands especially is saying to take a more creative stance with this. Whatever you decide to connect or file your tax, stand up for it, even if you think it's wrong. In other words, keep doing what you believe is right with your taxes and stand by that. Okay. Walking miracle. Do we set our crown chakra to violet with golden sparkles? Honestly, that's up to you. Because this, however you set your crown chakra, as far as ours, that's a great idea, though. We do have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles comes with the Eight of Pentacles. So it's saying to work hard, but be patient with your growth and progress. You're building an empire, so you don't want to rush this. Know that everything you're doing towards this is worth it, and just keep up the good work. Tawanda Vance, we have the Queen of Cups. Your spirit crew is tapping into your deep love. The more you feel deep in love and deep in your heart, the more psychic your powers are going to come through. So congratulations, okay? And this is actually going to talk about you being in love. So this is amazing. The Counselor, thank you. We have the Ten of Pentacles, lots of money. You're going to inherit a lot of wealth through your connections from others. And this is work well-deserved, okay? Amorous Crespo, we have the Eight of Wands and the King of Cups, but the Knight of Cups was under. So your connection with this very compassionate man is going to go from 0 to 100. You're going to, it's the arrows of love. You're going to very quickly develop a relationship with someone you already know or someone who is going to be new to you. I feel like the Knight of Cups coming under means that he has a very tough exterior, but he's a romantic at heart. He's a hopeless romantic at heart. Jewel, we have the Four of Cups. Contemplate with your emotions. Contemplate with how you feel. That's amazing. We almost have 300. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. Contemplate. Some of you are wise. Some of you know that wise people know that if you watch the super chats, I can be pulling a card, but all of the cards, if you set the intention and ask spirit, hey, every card that the peace dealer pulls, let it have a message for me. You step into that timeline and it'll work. So keep that in mind. Shout out to those of you who stay to the end. Okay. Brooke H. Jewel, contemplate your feelings and allow what rises up to give you gems. Brooke H. We have the Ace of Swords, my favorite tarot card. One of my favorites. Okay. Ooh, and the Chariot. So you're speaking your truth, Brooke. Speaking your truth. Your 100% uncompromised truth will push you forward into victory. You're going to get an epiphany when you do speak that truth, when you're in a situation where you need to, and it's going to break you through to victory. Miss Leo Scorp Aqua, messages for me after the ritual. We got the Ace of Swords. You're going to literally get an epiphany about love, about your passion, about what you want in love, okay? And this is going to give you great victory that will give you so much courage. This is going to be an epiphany and you speaking your current truth. All right. The healing mixologist need advice about my love situation. Teamwork makes the dream work. You need to find a way to incorporate your love interest into the work you do. so that the work you do is very powerful. For those of you staying after, I'm going to give you an advice to help with this magical spell crafting. Okay. Three of Pentacles, the work that you do with the partner will strengthen the relationship as it will develop your chemistry. So work on a creative project together. And through that, it's going to really help. Shoot, Shim and Renee Scott, these cards flew out. Your higher self, the high priestess, wants you to get excited about incoming information that's going to transform your entire life. Okay. So this is very important. Your intuition is speaking through you, through your passion and through your intellect. And this transformation is going to remove all the blockages that might be haunting you or might be annoying you. Okay. Mary Lee, we have the so to add on to that, stay excited, do things that excite you, because this is going to foster that spirit. Mary Lee, you have the 10 of Wands. You might have to go through a lot of burden and responsibility, but this is just to test your character, okay? Don't feel like you have to do all this work. Find ways to delegate it, but don't procrastinate. Is the silence I'm experienced with someone I love the end? It is never the end. I've had a painful experience with love. I am so sad for constant endings. You need to sit with your feelings, UG Rose. You need to sit with your feelings. Your heart is closed off. You're turning down opportunities because you're allowing pendulums and you're giving to stop you, and you're giving influence to importance. It's easier said than done, but you have to believe, especially if you need to do this ritual again with us, that it will not stay this way. You do not have to continue this narrative. Sit with your feelings. Let that sadness arise. Let that depression arise, and listen to the inner voice within you. There's going to be a gem that comes to give you a great message while you just sit with your feelings and let whatever comes up, comes up. Miss Bevis, what my super self wants me to cut off right now. Cut off the poverty mind state. Any part of you that feels like, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough beauty, I just don't have enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not wealthy enough, that's a lie. Cut it off. Cut it off. You are wealthy. You are super rich. You have $1 billion vibe. You have $1 trillion vibe. Okay. So please, please, please cut off that consciousness. All right. Goddess Adorned. The channeled message that I have for this relationship is victory. The purpose of it is to break through into victory, to have a forward momentum where both of you are able to guide each other forward with your shared wisdom. You want to actually focus on your goals, and both of you are meant to achieve both of your goals mutually and together. Okay. Patricia CJ, what am I not looking at that I should? Great question. You're not looking at your depression. You're not looking at the stuff you're sad at. And that's not bad, because, you want to stay positive, but you need to take a close look at what you're sad at what you're disappointed in. You're not taking a good look at your disappointments, because there's a golden gem there that you didn't expect there to be. Okay. Robert Glenius, we have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is effectively speaking of the arrows of love flying. You're going to go through a very swift flow of energy that's going to change your situation very powerfully. There's really nothing you can do. You just have to get ready. It's happening now. Be willing to make sure you have all contact with your electronics, because you're going to get messages from people. Mark F., stand your ground. Fight the good fight. You have the advantage. It doesn't matter if people think you're crazy for what you believe. It doesn't matter if people think you're stupid. Fight that good fight, yo. It doesn't matter about you being right or wrong. You have the advantage. You're gaining victory just by standing up for yourself. I love this. Is my favorite card. And this is my favorite card too. Okay. So for those of you who stayed after, the key, I'm going to start giving magic keys to people who stay after, okay? Which you don't have to. But for those who stayed after right now, to add to this divine magic spell crafting, sing and rhyme, okay? I am not controlled by time. Everything I live is sublime. I'm walking into a new timeline and everything is fine. Swear to God. So simple, so easy, so happy. You sing, you attune your heart, life becomes magical. And if you sing and you just constantly Just sing your reality in. This is going to definitely align you. And I also invite you to make a song, write poems, make actual songs about the reality you want to manifest, and sing them. Record a track. Get other people to sing that track with you. Go to a concert. Do a whole concert that is themed with what you want to manifest. It's happening like that, y'all. Okay, so keep that in mind. Another reality hack is to literally make a song about the reality you want to manifest. Miss Bevis, what does my Cap Neptune need to know? Great question. Work, 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 work. You're fine-tuning your intuition and you're breaking through. So the more you work on your intuition, the more you work on yourself, the more victory you're going to have. But that's so Capricorn. It's like work. Your Cap Neptune wants to know you need to work. All right. Y'all stay blessed. Thank you so much again. You guys are amazing as always. I love that. This is surreal to me. I still think this is a dream. Like the fact that we do this like every week. But other than that, you stay blessed. And until next week.